G'day and welcome to Alice Springs. I'm Peter Solly, Tourism Central Australia's General Manager. Hope you're going to have a great time watching the footy here in Alice Springs. It's a pity you couldn't be here in real life, but given you're watching it on the streaming, we're hoping that your team gets up. Don't forget to enter the competition. You could actually win yourself a great opportunity to come and see this fantastic place. But in the meantime, have a great time and hope your footy team wins. Again, from Central Australia, welcome.
I've been travelling the outback for 20 years now, and I keep coming back to Yellowwater, Billabong and Kakadu. I see the visitors cruise out here with Gagajee dreaming. When they're on Yellowwater, they're just as keen to photograph as I am. I can understand why. There's something special about this place. In the wet season, just love it. I prefer to camp in a swag at Gagajee Lodge, Corinda, but Gagajee Dreaming also has accommodation that's a little bit more luxurious. When you want to see Kakadu, cruise, tour or stay with Gagajee Dreaming.
There's no place like Alice Springs. There's no place like Alice Springs.
G'day, my name's Crafty from the Overlander Steakhouse here in Alice Springs. I'm here amongst quite a few of my friends, and I'd like to welcome you all to this vision of Alice Springs on this Saturday night with the big game against the Crows versus the Brisbane Lions. I was privileged to drop anchor here in the Alice back in 1975, and because we sort of live close to every beach in Australia, I find myself stranded, but I love the place. It's all about the 4 or 5 C's, the characters, the colours, the closeness and proximity to every beach in Australia, and I guess the culture that exists in and around Alice Springs. So as I said, we're privileged to have a big footy game here tonight, but we're privileged with plenty of sporting facilities here. Alice Springs hosts the Masters Games every 2 years, and for us oldies that's a great excuse to get out and pretend how good we were, how good we still think we are, and it gives us 2 years in between games to recover from our sporting injuries. You've got the opportunity this evening to enter a competition which might allow you to come up here and check the place out for yourself. If you don't win that competition, it's an open invitation for you all to come to the Alice any time of the year and come in the Adelaide Steakhouse and say g'day.
G'day and welcome to Alice Springs. I'm Peter Solly, Tourism Central Australia's General Manager. Hope you're going to have a great time watching the footy here in Alice Springs. It's a pity you couldn't be here in real life, but given you're watching it on the streaming, we're hoping that your team gets up. Don't forget to enter the competition. You could actually win yourself a great opportunity to come and see this fantastic place. But in the meantime, have a great time and hope your footy team wins. Again, from Central Australia, welcome.
I've been travelling the outback for 20 years now, and I keep coming back to Yellowwater, Billabong and Kakadu. I see the visitors cruise out here with Gagagee dreaming. When they're on Yellowwater, they're just as keen to photograph as I am. I can understand why. There's something special about this place. And the wet season, just love it. I prefer to camp in a swag at Gagagee Lodge, Corinda, but Gagagee Dreaming also has accommodation that's a little bit more luxurious. When you want to see Kakadu, cruise, tour or stay with Gagagee Dreaming.
There's no place like Alice Springs. There's no place like Alice Springs.
G'day, my name's Crafty from the Adelaide Steakhouse here in Alice Springs. I'm here amongst quite a few of my friends, and I'd like to welcome you all to this vision of Alice Springs on this Saturday night with the big game against the Crows versus the Brisbane Lions. I was privileged to drop anchor here in the Alice back in 1975, and because we sort of live close to every beach in Australia, I find myself stranded, but I love the place. It's all about the 4 or 5 C's, the characters, the colours, the closeness and proximity to every beach in Australia, and I guess the culture that exists in and around Alice Springs. So as I said, we're privileged to have a big footy game here tonight, but we're privileged with plenty of sporting facilities here. Alice Springs hosts the Masters Games every 2 years, and for us oldies it's a great excuse to get out and pretend how good we were, how good we still think we are, and it gives us 2 years in between games to recover from our sporting injuries. You've got the opportunity this evening to enter a competition which might allow you to come up here and check the place out for yourself. If you don't win that competition, it's an open invitation for you all to come to the Alice any time of the year and come in the Adelaide Steakhouse and say g'day.
G'day and welcome to Alice Springs. I'm Peter Solly, Tourism Central Australia's General Manager. Hope you're going to have a great time watching the footy here in Alice Springs. It's a pity you couldn't be here in real life, but given you're watching it on the streaming, we're hoping that your team gets up. Don't forget to enter the competition. You could actually win yourself a great opportunity to come and see this fantastic place. But in the meantime, have a great time and hope your footy team wins. Again, from Central Australia, welcome.
The Traeger Park, beautiful surrounds, McDonald's Rangers there. Alice Springs, the city, only a couple of k's down there, and we are going to be seeing one hell of a NAB Cup clash between the Brisbane Lions and the Adelaide Crows tonight. A lot of big names are going to be rested from this one, and our thoughts are with Jonathan Brown as he recovers from that sickening clash with his own teammate Matthew Maguire earlier in the week. But it is going to be a wonderful game. Big thank you to the NT government and of course the local council here in Alice Springs for getting it all up and running. And Tourism Central Australia. Check out Tourism CA, a fantastic competition up and running for your enjoyment there. I'll give you more information on that a little bit later on. But for now, we'll let you have a look around the surrounds of Traeger Park, and I'll catch up with you shortly right here on AFL NTV.
The AFL would like to thank the organisers to make this game possible, and take special welcome to Minister for Sport, Minister for Central Australia, Mr. Carlton. Spectators are reminded to stay off the ground at all times. There is a significant fine for any spectator during the game or the race. No spectators permitted on the playing surface until after the second count at the end of the main game. Traeger is a smoke-free venue. They take your mind to a dedicated smoke cave located in the back of the main grandstand. In the unlikely event of emergency, there are emergency exits located around the building. Please follow all security directions and instructions over the loudspeaker. Those individuals involved with the coin toss, please take the bottom of the grandstand.
Park for this round 2 clash between Brisbane Lions and the Adelaide Crows. A healthy crowd starting to build up in the surrounding areas of this stadium, and there has been plenty of talk about this, not only in the 2 capital cities of Adelaide and Brisbane, but right across the Northern Territory as well. It's a big game. It's a great thing for the Northern Territory as well, and plenty of sponsors to thank, including the NT government and also the likes of TCA, Mix 1049 of course, and Crown Plaza. A big thank you for getting this game up and running. And one man that has been influential on getting this game into Alice, we missed out on last year, is Carl Hampton, the Sports Minister of the Northern Territory. G'day, Carl. How's things?
Oh, look, I'm relieved, actually. The weather, look, you can see the blue sky. It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's quite amazing. Over 100 millimetres of rain has been falling over the last 3 days. The clouds are starting to open up. This is fantastic. Everything seems to be okay.
Oh, look, the oval looks fantastic. I know this wing here is probably a bit soggy, but so I think the people on that side of the ground will get a good view tonight.
Healthy crowd starting to build as well, in typical Territory style.
The last minute, I think.
Last minute.
What have we got? 20 minutes. So I think in another 10 minutes or so, we'll see people really piling in. So hopefully we'll get a good crowd.
What's the atmosphere been like over the last couple of days? Obviously, with all the rain coming, a few people can't make it down the track to get to the game because of some roads being closed off. Any updates on that?
Yeah, look, a lot of the roads from the remote communities are closed off. We know the Stewart Highway was closed north of Alice, so hopefully people have been able to get in. A lot of people may have been in town already, but I think we'll still get a really good crowd. But unfortunately, yeah, some people won't be able to get in, particularly from the pitlands. I think a lot of the Crows supporters down there through the APY lands might miss out. So hopefully some of those areas might be tuned in online and they can get a bit of the action over their computer or laptop.
Well, fingers crossed they can tune in to aflnt.com.au. Also, it is a big coup as well for Alice. We missed out on the Indigenous game last year. We've got this one. Thankfully, that was because of Cyclone Yazi making its way all the way to Alice Springs, unbelievably. It's going to get underway. A few little soggy patches here on the commentary side of the ground, but that'll just add to the flavour, won't it?
Absolutely. That's what the crowd will want to see, a bit of action and blokes going hammer and tong at it. So, yeah, no, it all goes well. And, yeah, unfortunately, the All-Stars, we missed out, but according to the agreement, it's locked in for next year. So we seem to have no luck with the weather, but I remember one year the Crows and Adelaide played here in torrential rain. So they're going to have a better time this time. So, you know, I think the Crows have done well. They've brought a lot of their stars, and obviously Brisbane Lions have rested a few of their stars. Would have been good to see them, but Jonathan Brown's injury, you know, we wish him all the best for the season. He's been a champion for many years. I've certainly enjoyed watching him play. So best of luck to Jonathan Brown for the coming season. Hopefully he can get over his bad injury.
Now, you're wearing a striking blue number. I thought you would have been wearing something a little bit orange with a big G on it because your son's playing for GWS.
Yes.
Did some pretty good stuff in the first round. I bet you're hoping for him to kick a few more goals this round as well.
Oh, look, absolutely. He never played today. They got touched up a bit by Hawthorn, a very strong Hawthorn outfit, but a good game for them. You know, every game they're going to get better. They rested a lot of their players as well. So, yeah, he didn't play today. Certainly watched it on TV, though. But all going well, he'll play next week against the Gold Coast.
Fantastic, and I can't wait to watch his progress, and we'll be chatting more about that obviously in the first quarter. You're going to be joining me in commentary.
Absolutely, and Sean Edwards, the other Territory lad, done really well today. I watched the game and he played really well, so good for the Territory.
Well, Carl, we'll catch up with you shortly up in the commentary box, mate. No worries. Carl Hampton, the NT Sports Minister, one of the key ingredients on getting this game up and running here in the Northern Territory. I will say this to you, catching up with Michael Voss from the Brisbane Lions and also Brenton Sanderson from the Adelaide Crows, the two head coaches here on AFL in TV shortly. Don't go away. To AFL NTV. I'm with the coach of the Adelaide Crows, Brenton Sanderson. Welcome, and look, you're 2-0. I mean, this is an easy thing, this coaching caper, isn't it?
No, not really. It's not easy at all. Last week was a bit of a nail-biter in both games. You know, we won by a super goal v Carlton and then just 1 point against Port. So hopefully we get a win tonight. I mean, it doesn't really matter how much we win by, but it'd be nice just to get the W again. I
was speaking to Phil Harper early in the day, and if you knock off the Lions tonight, it's the top 2 teams that go through. You'll be in a pretty good position. As coaches, we hear certain coaches say, oh, look, it's just a run-of-the-mill sort of thing. We just want to see the new players go around. Are you guys out here to win each and every game that you play? Oh,
yeah, definitely. I mean, any time the Adelaide Crows take the field, we're desperate for a win, you know. Even though it's a NAB Cup match, we're really keen to play well every time we put the jumper on. Yes, we've got probably 7 or 8 of our better players out tonight, but it gives an opportunity for a few of our younger kids to really stand up and show that they want to be part of the football club going forward. So I'm sure you'll see some exciting young kids tonight running around who are really desperate to stake their claim for round 1.
Patrick Dangerfield, acting captain tonight. That's a fantastic move. He leads from the front. That's why he wears 32 on his back, like that former old captain, Mark Rasciuto. He, along with Rory Sloane, 2 young leaders and something to look forward to for the future.
No, it's great. I mean, Paddy's really thrilled tonight to be the captain, and I'm sure he'll play well tonight. He's really wound up with those other leaders being out. He's the one that has to stand up, but he's got some fantastic support around him as well, you know, with guys like John Cock and Douglas, and as you said, Sloane. We've still got some experience in the side as well, so I'm sure those guys will all play well tonight.
Well, Brenton, all the best. I know you're busy as a bee. All the best for tonight, and who knows, 3-0. We could be talking in a couple of weeks' time, maybe in a NAB Cup final.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll just get through tonight first, hopefully. But yeah, thanks a lot.
All the best, Brenton. No worries. The head coach of the Brisbane Lions. G'day, Michael. How are you?
Good, very well, thank you.
Great to have you here in Alice Springs. There were rumours going on in the big media outlets that the game might not go ahead. You got here, you're all settled. Saw the boys at Crown Plaza. They look pretty relaxed. How are you going as a coach in seeing a lot of the youngsters out here tonight?
Yeah, we've got a few. We've probably pretty much chocked full of it, nearly under 21 team. But it's good exposure for them. We want to find out a few things. We want to put some pressure on some of our more emerging leaders, as well as be able to try and find a few spots in this team and a few to put their hands up. So this is what pre-season's all about, for young players to get opportunities and hopefully get their chance.
You mentioned about putting their hands up forward line, the big fella who's gone down with injury yet again. Firstly, how he's going, and secondly, who are the young fellas that you're expecting to stand up in that tall department up forward?
Well, he's going all right, the big fellow. He addressed the team yesterday, and he was in fairly good spirits. So yeah, we're looking for Jordan Lyle, Cornelius, Lester, Retzlaff, who will come in more in the second half. So they're guys who've got to step up now. They've been around for a few years now. It's certainly time for their exposure. The big fella's missing, so we need others to step up.
What were the footy last week? Take anything out of the legs of the boys, or they're all ready to go?
Pretty good. I mean, we're able to manage the group pretty much. A lot of them end up playing halves. Those that played full games are not playing tonight. So that's how we've managed the group. Obviously, we'll start to step it up from here. But this is a pretty important game because, we're playing against a fairly strong Adelaide team. So, you want to see, can these younger players be able to get our setups, get our structures? Can they execute our game plan? If we can, it's a pretty positive sign.
Mike, all the best for tonight.
Thanks.
Michael Voss, Brisbane Lions head coach. A young side coming up against a slightly more experienced Adelaide side. A lot of new faces here, something to get excited about here on AFL NTV. Tell your friends about it, aflnt.com.au, and click on the Facebook page, AFL NT. We'll be back shortly with the start of the first quarter.
Tonight, 2012, at our clash between the Adelaide Crows and the Brisbane Lions in Traeger Park. Brought to you by the NAB and the Northern Territory Government. Through their partnership with the AFL, bring free cricket to the territory every year. any spectator who is during the game or breaks, those spectators committed on the playing surface after sector time is sound at the end of the main game. Our NAB kickers are reminded to head to the back of the main grandstand at the northern end and before the time break for their half-time appearance on the arena.
And along with Brad Harvey as well, who is also a substitute for tonight's game, as the players are just going through their final preparations for the warm-up. All quarters, 25 minutes maximum, so we're going to see plenty of intense, exciting football coming your way shortly. I'll be joined by the NT Sports Minister, Carl Hampton. Also, we'll have representatives of both clubs throughout the night as special guest commentary, and finally in the last quarter, Daniel Archer will be popping in, the NT Thunder coach, the old coach, and Murray Davis, premiership coach with the Thunder last year in the NEFL competition, is actually a development coach for the Brisbane Lions now. So plenty of Thunder and plenty of territory talent out there on the park tonight. A handy crowd starting to build and mill here in the Northern Territory. Traditionally late comers to any event that's going on, but it's going to be one hell of a match, and we're really looking forward to it. You're on AFL NTV, aflnt.com.au. That is where we're broadcasting tonight on the internet. Tell your friends about it, and also you can Facebook us as well on AFL NTV. So as the players start to head to their positions, we're gearing up for a big session in commentary. And it's great to have your company yet again. Round 2 of the NAB Cup about to get underway. And joining commentary now by NT Sports Minister Carl Hampton. Carl, what a wonderful sight we're seeing.
Oh, it's a beautiful sight from up here, and the ground looks perfect. So we're ready to start. First bounce.
So Leuenberger in the ruck. Great to see the big fella out and running again for the Brisbane Lions as the ball is bounced. Winning the tap out here, and it's a little bit scratchy early on as a quick kick away there by the line. Sloan tries to get a kick away as the players jump all over the top. A great kick there by Douglas, up and under in the direction of Tom Lynch, and he just misjudges that one, and a fine mark taken there by the likes of Matthew Maguire. Been in the news for all the wrong reasons this week, mainly because he took out his captain, Jonathan Brown, as they play on quickly through the midfield. An ill-directed kick there by Jack Redden. Gets the ball back, tackled there by Sloan. Under pressure at the moment. Both teams going in hard in the middle of the ground. Crows trying to burst out of the pack. A fine tackle laid, and the ball will be thrown up yet again.
So it's a bit of a tussle at the moment early on. We'll see who the first side is to get away and settle down a bit.
So plenty of youngsters in this Brisbane Lions side. One wearing the 47 tonight, Jack Crisp, a young rookie.
Yep, plenty of youngsters out there.
As Redden tries to get a kick away, another smother and a free kick going the way of the Adelaide Crows to Territorian in Richard Tambling.
Yeah, good to see Richard out there. He's looking fit. Hopefully he has a good year with the Crows.
So Tambling with a penetrating kick inside the forward 50, looking for a target, and a fine mark. Great mark taken there by the Adelaide Crows, looking for Taylor Walker coming out of the square at the moment. But we're just going to wait and see if the young Josh Jenkins can pop this one through.
There's a slight breeze coming across the oval, sort of a westerly breeze, so they should just kick it straight and it'll go through the middle.
So Jenkins, who marked it inside the 50.
Up to the side.
Waiting on the all clear from the umpires. They have a little discussion. So a heated discussion involving Matthew Maguire as well. He's not too happy about it with the umpires, but it is a behind. First score on the board for the Brisbane Lions. One behind as they play on quickly.
There's a bit of action in the middle of the ground here, away from the ball.
As the ball moves up along the commentary line, Leuenberger involved in the action in the middle as players dive on top of the ball right in front of the commentary box wing. Here comes the likes of James Polkinghorne, plays on quickly, and the Lions are away as they head inside their forward 50, looking for Jordan Lyle, the Hawk, and he's accidentally marked it. Plays on quickly, good linking up there for Cale Beams, and he puts it through.
First goal for the night to the Lions. They moved the ball very well down the wing there.
Fantastic work there by the Brisbane Lions. Didn't get too phased about what was going on in the middle, with a little bit of a scuffle going on with their big ruckman and Matthew Leuenberger. They played on quickly, and exciting stuff from the youngsters.
That was Beams, was it?
It was young Beams. That is
the younger brother of the lad from Collingwood.
That's right, Dane's younger brother. So ball back in the middle. And the Lions got the ascendancy early on. A quick fire footy on this small ground here at Traeger Park. This time winning the hit out that time was the likes of Sean McKernan, who's doing effortless in ruck, but a fine work there by John Cock. Gets the free kick, plays on.
15 metres.
Bit of back chat going on there. And 50 metres on this ground can be, well, definitely sizable when going for goal.
So I think that's Sam Shaw, is it? Number 34?
So Sam Shaw in the middle of the ground, bombs it forward. Looking for the long arms of the law again in Josh Jenkins. Also out there is Taylor Walker, tambling around the pack along with Knights from the Crows. And a ball to be thrown up yet again. So plenty of players around this pack as McKernan. Play on, says the umpire. No player is allowed to contact or infringe with the other ruckman before the ball has been thrown up. So an interesting new rule as play goes on. Sam Sheldon just edged off the ball there by John Cock as he goes straight back into the middle of the ground. An errant kick finds Hawksley. Hawksley over the top to Lyle, and here comes Pollock. So Pollock right in front of us, and easy as you like.
Number 14.
And here comes the Brisbane line. So this should be a very interesting looking shot at goal from Aaron Cornelius as he tries to bend it back, but a fine mark, which is being paid. No, it's through for a behind.
No, it's a mark.
Onto the outer side, moving it in, Sloan pushes it out into McKernan direction. Also there for the Brisbane Lions is Harwood. Sloan picks it up, moves it into the middle of the ground. Had to work hard for that one, Cheney Stiller, and he got the free kick. So Stiller off the half-forward flank for the Adelaide Crows, moves it on, finds Hawksley, linking up well. Green. And here come the Lions along the wing. So Redden has some time to burn. Good possession footy at the moment, had to be clean with it, but here comes the youngster everyone's talking about in Brad Crouch. Good tackle there by Hawksley to earn the ball back for the Brisbane Lions. McGrath over the top. Holding the ball maybe there on the youngster in Jesse O'Brien. And a free kick going the way of the Adelaide Crows. Brody Smith to take the ball. He switches it over, looking for Tambling. Instead, they're linking up Adelaide. A little chip kick and finds the target in Bernie Vince.
So I think the Lions have moved the ball a little bit better there for about 5 or so minutes. So it's good the Crows have got a chance to put one on the scoreboard. They've got 1 point at the moment, so it's Lions 1 goal to the Crows 1 point.
So Bernie Vince from just inside the 50, 45-degree angle. Doesn't make the umpire work too hard for it. And that's the first goal for the Crows tonight. They go to 1-1-7 to the Lions, 1 straight 6. And, well, you're right. Look, both sides are really using the ball well. They just need to play this ground similar to the SCG. Straight up the guts. Don't bother going around the ground there because, really, 2 kicks and you're in each other's forward 50s.
Absolutely. That's the corridor football is the best football on Traeger Park. And with these guys, they can really roost it. So it's a 1 or 2 kicks and you're in the forward line.
So Josh Jenkins moving into the ruck now for the Adelaide Crows. And what a matchup Sloan and Redden is going to be throughout this match. Of course, they don't stay with each other for the majority of the game these days. They always mix and match. As tap out there by Leuenberger, heading in the green direction, but it's the Crows now with another quick kick away. Green marks the ball. Play on, says the umpire. Harwood linking up well now, the Lions, and they're coming along the wing yet again, looking for Leuenberger. Has to go for it. Sloan used courage in that one. Here come the Lions along the wing. Working hard is Redden. Back to Leuenberger, building up nicely through Stiller. Here, leading up, Lyle just edged under the ball. And it will be thrown in right in front of the unique commentary box position that we've got here at Traeger Park tonight. Tap down that time there by Leuenberger, trying to get it away. Heavy tackle there by Crisp and also Redden on Petrenko as play goes on. And a little bit scrappy, and he's been pinged for holding the ball. Didn't show an effort of getting rid of it there in Harwood, and Richard Tambling will look to make him pay. Looking for Walker. Maguire Walker again, lovely long penetrating kick, heading to the square, and another good mark. This time taken there by McKernan. So McKernan will line up directly in front, 15 metres out, and should put another major on the board for the Crows.
So they're going through the interchanges as well. They're really using the benches well, Ed, and it's not too hot. It's quite nice, but giving everyone a run.
No, you wouldn't think any cool vests or anything like that, ice vests, will be used tonight.
I know in the past they've had a refrigerated truck behind the grandstand, and half-time the players would go and sit in there.
Well,
I don't think they'd need that tonight.
As McKernan comes in and puts that out of the ground. The Crows go to 2-1-13, whilst the Lions are on 1 straight 6 after kicking the opening goal of the game through beams. But it's been Crows football ever since then, and it's interesting, as we mentioned, corridor footy, the Lions still coming up along the win here. Whether that's a tactic, whether that's how they're going to play this year, or whether it's just pressure from the Crows to clog up the corridor.
Yeah, no, look, they're moving the ball well, but this is the wet side of the oval, so they're still persisting with it. They're getting the ball down, but the Crows, then, as we said, long kicks into the forward line and you're there, so it certainly worked for the Crows that time.
So ball back in the middle. Rotating the ruck work as Jenkins punches it away. Crisp there as well as Polkinghorne for the Lions, but they're besieged by the Crows at the moment as they come along the members' wing yet again. Scooping it up this time is the likes of O'Brien. Nice long kick along the wing. Sheldon. Handball just in a Douglas direction, unfortunately for Lions supporters, but going in there hard was Lester. Seen over the boundary line and will be thrown in just on the 50-metre arc, heading towards the Alice Springs Township end of the ground. And also
right in front of the Brisbane Lions cheer squad there. Got a few supporters on the flank there.
So just trying to clear some space here for the ruckman to do the battle. Rule that's being trialled in the NAB Cup this year. There has to be plenty of space between the two ruckmen. They can't be jostling or infringing beforehand as the umpire watches it closely. Jenkins taps it down and Petrenko dives on top of it and the ball will be thrown up. So plenty of players around the stoppages at the moment. It's quite amazing. No one in the forward line for the Adelaide Crows at the moment. Good work by Redden. He's had plenty of the ball. Gives it off to his teammate in Polkinghorne. He bombs it long to the square. Johncock having to mop things up. Also there is Yench. Shakes one tackle and gets the Crows out of trouble. Or does he? As Stiller marks the ball. And a back go the Lions. Good mark taken there by Beams to kick the first goal of the night. High up and under kick, looking in the Lyle and Leuenberger direction. A big pack flies and a high tackle and a bit of feeling in this one.
Certainly no love lost here between the two sides.
So Douglas gets the free kick. He goes to the outer side. Ending up with the ball this time is the likes of Talia. Plays on quickly. They're moving it along the wing to the acting captain and Patrick Dangerfield. Penetrating kick inside the forward 50. Under pressure is McKernan, looking for some assistance. He gets some this time by Callanan, but a free kick going the way of the Lions and Harwood clears. So Harwood on the outer side, starting to set things up the Lions, and they're using the wings well. So as the Lions come along the outer side, tap down, going in hard that time. There was Talia yet again, and the ball will be thrown up.
That's right in front of our tree of knowledge there, Ed. You see the beautiful eucalyptus, the gum tree there.
Explain a little bit more about the tree of knowledge. What do we get out of that one? Obviously,
a bit of local knowledge there. Certainly. That area is renowned for some of the most vocal supporters in our local competition.
Okay, I thought we could get all the homework done there. All the kids after school head down to the Tree of Knowledge to get their work done quicker.
And it's looking beautiful with the lights on it. It's quite spectacular.
So the ball just not really going too far at the moment, still on the outer side. Scoreline reads 2-1-13 to the Lions 1 straight 6. No super goals as yet tonight. As McKernan does the ruck work this time against Lyle. Trying to get it out of the Lions as they bust it through, heading in the centre half forward direction. Good punch away that time there by Crisp. He's been in everything so far. But here comes Taylor Walker, busting it out with Matt Maguire. The two big units. Walker hand passes over the top. Sheldon interfered with Ricky Henderson, and Henderson will get the free kick. So Henderson bombs it long. And it's seen over the boundary line and will be thrown in. So deep in the forward pocket as the crowd has really built here at Traeger Park here tonight. Great atmosphere. So quick kick away there by the Crows. It's up and under, and a fine mark effort there by the likes of Brodie Smith. Play on and the ball out of bounds on the full, but a great effort there by Smith to just create something out of nothing. And it will be a free kick there for the Brisbane Lions as Hawksley will take it in.
So I'd like to maybe congratulate the Town Council too. They've done a fantastic job with the ground to get it up to the standard it is. It's looking beautiful out there.
So Matt Maguire, yeah, wouldn't have been done without the local council, and of course the NT government doing some great work on getting it all up and running here today. Just chipping the kick along the side of the ground. Looking for Harwood. Tacking it hard there was Sloan. So Harwood deep in defence. Switching play now are the Lions. And slipping over there at the crucial moment there was the likes of Pollock. As they play on quickly, the Crows. Big chance. As snapping over across his shoulder there was Crouch as he moves it forward. Good work there by Knight. Still plenty of time. A Walker tight on the boundary line. He moves on to his left. Heads in the goal direction. Doesn't get the bounce that he wanted. And it's through for a behind. So the Crows go to 2-2-14 to 1 straight 6. And the Lions start to build again through Golby. Finding Stiller. Into the middle of the ground. Sheldon linking up with Crisp. Being precise with their kicking at the moment as they chip it up along the wing. Lyle up against two, but a fine mark taken there against Otten. He plays on quickly. It's a one-on-one contest, but he just didn't get enough purchase on the ball, and Douglas mops things up for the Crows as they go onto the outer side. This time now it's Smith. Linking up beautifully with Lynch. Former St Kilda player into Yench in the middle of the ground. Here comes Douglas. Had to kick it quickly as he was under pressure, and that perceived pressure made the ball end up with Redden on the back line. So players still just trying to get the surroundings of this ground right, and also just dusting off a little bit of rust as well. A lot of youth out there tonight. Captains of both clubs, senior captains not playing in Van Berlo and Jonathan Brown. Good effort there by McKernan with the ruck. And he plays on quickly, and here come the Brisbane Lions along the outer side. They kick it on, looking for Green, but it's chipped off there by Otten. Here come the Crows into the middle, finds Douglas, long penetrating kick, low hands in the back there by Walker, couldn't get away with that one, and Maguire will take the free kick.
So the Lions have turned it over the last 2 times they've gone forward, so they'll be looking to try and tighten up a bit and hit a target up there.
So trying to trap the ball this time is Lester. He gets it away, heading in the Sheldon direction. Working hard against Douglas, goes again, needs support, finds it, line starting to build off half forward. Pollock, another errant handball, Sloan misjudges the ball, and away go the Lions again through Crisp. Up and under kick, and good effort there by Lyle, just can't keep it in, and it's in the forward pocket.
So both teams are just finding it a bit hard getting into their forward line. Certainly the defence has tightened up.
Don't forget, a great competition up and running thanks to Tourism Central Australia. Visit centralaustralia.com.au to find out more details, and anyone can enter in Australia, of course. Answer 3 simple questions, put your name in the draw, and you could win some fantastic prizes. Make sure you check that out. As the ball is seen over the boundary line, and will be a free kick heading away the Brisbane Lions. This time to be taken by Golby. Off to Harwood. They go laterally, the Lions. And McGrath plays on quickly. Probably had time to settle himself, but the Lions already deep into the forward 50. Had to work hard. That time there was Cornelius. Didn't take the most of his opportunity. Was harassed at the time, but the Lions get the ball back yet again. The Crows just struggling with their disposal at the moment. Fine mark taken there that time there by Ryan Lester. Pops it up, and filling in the hole beautifully is Rockcliffe.
I say we've got about 5 minutes left in this first quarter, so he's going to go back and have a shot. We've got the Crows 2-2-14, Lions 1 goal, 6.
So Tom Rockcliffe tied on the boundary line. He'll kick from roughly 45 metres out, and this to put the Lions within striking distance. So Rockcliffe pops it up and pops it through. A great goal there by the youngster. Tommy Rockcliffe gets the second for the Brisbane Lions. 2-2-14. The Crows lead the Lions by 2 points, 2 straight 12.
Well, certainly the scoreboard reflects the game, I think, Ed. It's a bit of an arm wrestle. It's close and it's quick, fast football, which is good to see.
No, it is good to see, and I reckon the crowd's definitely entertained by this. There's been a few scuffles out there. Players are going at it pretty hard, and this is a great chance for the youngsters of these two clubs to really put on a show and say to the head coaches that, hey, I can play for you this year, and that's what they're doing.
I'm sure they're all keen to play in that first game of the season, so they're certainly got a great opportunity to show the coaches how good they are.
So both ruckmen missed the ball that time, and free kick being paid to the Crows. Dangerfield off to Yench, pops it up. Good lead there by Walker. Lions under pressure in defence. Quick kick away there by Maguire, looking for the safety of the boundary line, but finds Ottens. Back to Yench again. He falls, keeps his head about him as Dangerfield goes in hard. He's been collected.
He doesn't look too good.
He's pretty tough though, the boy from the Geelong area of Victoria. And gets back up.
I don't think he'd want to come off. He's acting captain, so yeah, it'll be very hard to get him off the ground.
So the Crows to take the free kick for a head-high hit. Accidental. They move it inside the 50. Here comes Walker. Drops what he should have taken. Vince working well. Gets it into the goal square, and a fine snap for goal. What a wonderful goal sneaking opportunity there by the former Saint in Tom Lynch. And the Crows get their third major on the board. Fantastic stuff.
So first quarter, anyone impress you at all out of the youngsters?
Oh, there's a few actually. A young rookie, Jack Crisp, has had a lot of the ball so far. He's been heavily involved. Yench for the Crows, wearing number 10. He's been also influential so far, and I reckon as this game goes on, we're going to see, the boys slowly start to become men, if that makes any sense. And we heard what Michael Voss said on AFLN TV a little bit earlier in the program, saying that he's looking for the next stars or the next senior players to really say, hey, I want to play for this club. As McKernan jumps early against Leuenberger, tap down again, Vince trying to work hard, gets a sneaky handball out, gets the ball back and chips it over the top and finds Shaw. He moves it along the outer side. Have to be good with the ball now, the Crows. Not long to go in this quarter as Sloan breaks through a couple of Brisbane line defenders, but just put too much on the kick, and a fine mark taken there by Golby. So Golby in the back pocket, looking to switch play. Has to move it quickly. Danger in front of goals. Players slipping over. Been plenty of rain here at Traeger Park this week. Hawksley. And they're just ziggy-zagging their way out of defence at the moment, the Brisbane Lions. They haven't been all too direct tonight. So they come along the outer side, just looking for space and being good with possession at the moment. So this one taken by Rockcliffe. Again, slow build-up, hitting the targets well. Redden. And all of a sudden they're on the half-forward line. Going backwards to go forwards, had to be good with the ball. Slow but deliberate build-up here by the Brisbane Lions as Golby looking for any sort of a lead. Tough now as Crows start to surround the Lions, but they use the ball well to get out of trouble. Popping it up in the Leuenberger direction. 2 bites of the cherry. Play on, says the umpire. Here come the Crows as they swoop on the ball. Good work there by Jenkins. A little up and under handball though. Pollock now for the Lions. Goes backwards to go forwards. Harwood now at centre half forward and spots it up to Cheney Stiller. So Stiller looking for the lead. And it gets on this time by Beams, but it's seen over the boundary line.
Right, it's going to be a throw-in, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So as the ball is thrown in, right on the forward 50 here for the Brisbane Lions, heading towards the Alice Spring township of the ground. Leuenberger wins this tap out against McKernan as the ball ebbs and flows through Dangerfield. Harwood under pressure, and there goes the siren for quarter time. Crows lead 3-2-20 to 2 straight goals there for the Lions. Been a little bit scrappy early on, but just trying to work themselves into this game, both sides.
Yeah, and I thought it was a good first quarter. Obviously, the styles of the two teams. We've got the Lions wanting to play wide on the wings, bring it into the forward line, with the Crows are very keen to just play corridor football. So it's going to be a good next 3 quarters. But I'm sure the level will pick up a bit and they'll get a bit more physical.
No, really looking forward to that as well. And a big thank you to, of course, our sponsors for making this all possible tonight. NAB, of course, AFL, NT Government, TCA, Tourism Central Australia, doing some great stuff. Check out the competition. 3 simple questions and you could be touring around this beautiful countryside of Central Australia in Alice Springs region. Tourism Central Australia, check it out. Visit centralian.com.au. Mix 1049, Crown Plaza, and of course Brisbane and Adelaide football clubs. Look, Carl, been great to have your company in this first quarter, mate. All the best for your son as well, Kurtley, for GWS this year, and
no worries,
I'm sure we're going to see you with the big G on your chest sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. I'll wait for their first win, or their first game actually, so March 24th against the Swans, and certainly we'll be getting down there to watch him, and hopefully he has a good season as GWS do. But thanks to yourself and to the radio station for bringing this game live to people over the net.
Carl, thanks for joining us. NT Sports Minister for the Northern Territory Government, and doing some wonderful stuff in helping getting this NAB Cup clash up here in the Northern Territory, and more importantly in Alice Springs. You're on AFL NTV. Check us out on the Facebook, AFL NT.
Hey, and welcome to Alice Springs. I'm Peter Solly, Tourism Central Australia's General Manager. Hope you're going to have a great time watching the footy here in Alice Springs. It's a pity you couldn't be here in real life, but given you're watching it on the streaming, we're hoping that your team gets up. Don't forget to enter the competition. You could actually win yourself a great opportunity to come and see this fantastic place. But in the meantime, have a great time, and hope your footy team wins. Again, from Central Australia, welcome.
There's no place like Alice Springs.
I've been travelling the outback for 20 years now, and I keep coming back to Yellowwater, Billabong and Kakadu. I see the visitors cruise out here with Gagagee dreaming. When they're on Yellowwater, they're just as keen to photograph as I am. I can understand why. There's something special about this place. And at wet season, just love it. I prefer to camp in a swag at Gagagee Lodge, Corinda, but Gagagee dreaming also has accommodation that's a little bit more luxurious. When you want to see Kakadu, cruise, tour or stay with Gagagee dreaming.
There's no place like Alice Springs.
G'day, my name's Crafty from the Adelaide Steakhouse here in Alice Springs. I'm here amongst quite a few of my friends, and I'd like to welcome you all to this vision of Alice Springs on this Saturday night with the big game against the Crows versus the Brisbane Lions. I was privileged to drop anchor here in the Alice back in 1975, and because we sort of live close to every beach in Australia, I find myself stranded, but I love the place. It's all about the 4 or 5 C's, the characters, the colours, the closeness and proximity to every beach in Australia, and I guess the culture that exists in and around Alice Springs. So as I said, we're privileged to have a big footy game here tonight, but we're privileged with plenty of sporting facilities here. Alice Springs hosts the Masters Games every 2 years, and for us oldies, that's a great excuse to get out and pretend how good we were, how good we still think we are, and it gives us 2 years in between games to recover from our sporting injuries. You've got the opportunity.
First quarter, obviously the Young Bucks had a good hit out there. It started a little bit slow, but worked their way into the game.
Yeah, not too bad. Like a long ground, wide ground. Adelaide getting us up the field and then beating us back. So that's an interesting one, but certainly good experience for some of the younger blokes. Giving away too many free kicks early, yeah, and the ball's going the other way because of that. So I've got to be a little bit more disciplined in that regard.
Yeah, and what else was Bossy saying at quarter time there?
Oh, look, just when they get us up the ground, try and pin them to one side of the ground rather than letting them out too easy. So
no worries. Thanks for your time. Cheers.
As it is the Lions that are trailing the Adelaide Crows by only 8 points as Dangerfield goes in hard. Good work there by the Lions to try and get it out, but it's the Crows again, this time through Sloane, tunnel balling it through. Good work there by Knights. And picking up again, using the outside of his boot there is Pollock as he bombs it long, but a fine mark taken there in defence by the Crows. So Vince marks in front of McGrath. He's got Petrenko upfield. He finds it. Great mark there by Jared Petrenko. And away go the Crows inside 50. Good courage there by Maguire. And he mops things up for the Lions as he goes straight up the middle. So Pollock goes backwards. And linking up well now are the Lions, and they're just zigzagging their way out of defence. They did most of this in the first quarter as well, as Leuenberger gets the ball. Back to Golby, and along the outer wing. It struggled to hit that target, and a fine mark taken there by the Crows. So the Crows on the outer side looking to build yet again. So Sean McKernan moves it on. And it's just out of bounds, just in front of the scoreboard with a handy crowd. And, well, we've got an expert for the Brisbane Lions joining us now. And it's great to have your company, Darren. Tell us more about what you've been doing with the Lions and how the Lions pre-season has been going.
Look, we've had a terrific pre-season. Obviously, very happy to start getting our NAB Cup games. And we're using tonight's fixture as an opportunity to really test some of our young guys and obviously get some game time into them. So playing quite a number of rookies tonight, which is great, and gives us an opportunity to put into practice some of the stuff that we've been working on over the last 3 months during pre-season. Yeah, speaking of Vossi a little bit earlier, he said it's more like an under-21 side out there as Beams goes forward yet again, and the Crows work out from defence. It's a very youthful side, isn't it? It's a great chance for you to see some of the guys that look to put their hand up this season. Yeah, that's right, very useful. And look, those players that we've got, like the Rockcliffs, Reddens, Leuenbergers, Polkinghorns, gives those guys an opportunity to show their leadership as well. With Adcock and Brown and Merritt not playing, it says here's an opportunity for those guys to stand up from a leadership point of view as well. So the Crows, through Knights, have marked roughly 43 metres out. And Dean Warren has joined us in commentary.
as the crowd slowly but surely starting to build. So Knights, who didn't play last week, with a little bit of a hamstring niggle, comes in. Interesting sort of loping style, but it works for him, and he puts another one through for the Crows. So going into this game, Dean, with the Brisbane Lions, is it all about development? Is that what you've been using the NAB Cup for, because you are in a rebuild phase, is that right?
Yeah, no doubt, and you know, this NAB Cup fixture in Alice Springs gives us an opportunity to probably rest some of our more experienced players, but again, it's really important for us as we are going into a rebuilding phase to try to give opportunities to our younger guys, and certainly Lester, Pollock, Breen, the guys that were recruited last year. It's an opportunity for them to stand up as well, and Lester's had a terrific start, I think, to the game, and Jared Pollock had a very interrupted season last year, and we're just very keen to try to get some footy under his belt, because he's an exceptional player, and we've got high hopes for Jared this year.
As Leuenberger wins the tap, free kick going the way of the Crows though, holding. Douglas linking up beautifully now there as they move it inside 50. Just a bit of an infringement maybe down back, but they play on quickly, and Vince sees Maguire over the line. Just a little bit of niggle going on with Walker and the likes, but again, another clearance there for the Crows. Been very impressed with the rookie, and Jack Crisp. He's been excellent so far in the middle.
Jack, we were quite surprised that Jack got through to us in the rookie draft, and we were delighted that he was there when he was obviously late in the rookie draft. So we think Jack's got a big future, and as you can see tonight, he finds the footy well. He's a great athlete and just a real competitor. So I think Jack's got a bright future.
So free kick going the way of Knights again, and he just kicked one here moments ago. So the expectation will be high on him, and just to create a little bit of a buffer for the Crows, 4-2. It's two straight.
Dominating stoppages at the moment, and obviously the clearances, so that's something we'll have to really try to pick up over the next 5 minutes or so to really wrestle some ascendancy back from the Crows.
So as Knights comes in, he sprays this one terribly so, and it's out of bounds on the full. So Matt Maguire will take the free kick in. So very interesting to seeing how it's a full man-on-man situation here at Traeger Park. No one up forward for the Lions, but I'm sure the old Pagans paddock will work in.
The forwards have pressed up, obviously, to try to squeeze them up a little bit. So I think, as I said, once the stoppage, you'll see it start spreading from there pretty quickly.
So as Beams and Douglas matched up on each other.
Beams has had a terrific start to the game, I think, from the Brisbane perspective. So, and another one of those, Beams is in his 3rd year at the club now, and he's got a lot of potential, and should press for regular senior selection this year.
So as they move it on to the outer side through Redden. Looking for that next link at centre half forward, under pressure. Crows again, strong in defence. And away they go again. So a 1-on-2 situation turned into a 3-on-1. Dangerfield in trouble. Rockcliffe again. Moving along the wing, starting to move it forward. Lines linking up well, under pressure. Yo. And Adelaide through defence. Settle. And a good mark taken there by McKernan. So as they all start to flood forward for the Crows. Big, bombing, booming kick. All by himself, Walker. Just got the step on Maguire, and he'll line up from just inside 50.
Big Niall McKee, just needs to tighten up on, obviously, McKernan there a little bit. Niall's one of our Irish recruits, and ended up playing around about 11 games last year. Looked very raw, but a terrific athlete that came on considerably last year in a game. Yeah, as I said, very raw, but his improvement is significant, so we expect Niall to sort of be a regular player this year as well.
As Walker looks to put that one through for the Crows, and they're starting to kick away, 5-2 to 2 straight. You mentioned that Irish influence that you got there. McKeever, Maguire's another sort of Irish name. O'Brien, it's sort of starting to turn into an Irish list, isn't it?
Maguire and O'Brien aren't from Ireland, but we have got Pierce Hanley, who's another Irish recruit that we've got. And Pierce is obviously not playing tonight, but had an outstanding year for us last year, and I think he'll be an exceptional player, Pierce.
So ball back in the middle as the Crows have started to build a handy little buffer here at Traeger Park. 5-2 to 2 straight. Leuenberger goes in again against McKernan, but it's another clearance, this time through Petrenko for the Crows. And Walker again, looking to play on, stays on his line. Outside 50, could be a super goal opportunity for the Adelaide Crows. Through for a behind.
Just another example of them dominating us in the midfield at the moment. It's probably an area that Adrian Fletcher, who's our stoppage coach, and Shane Woden, who looks after our midfield, obviously need to work on actually trying to rectify that. But again, Crows are kicked away a little bit here.
Yeah, missing a few important cogs of that midfield though, in Rich and Black and the likes.
Yeah, we are, certainly.
So the Lions starting to build along the commentary box wing. High up and under kick. Big pack forms. Getting it out there is Rockcliffe. He gets that quick hands along there to Cornelius. High up and under kick yet again. Calling for rain. We don't really want that here at Traeger Park. We've had enough of it this week. And a free kick going the way of young Jordan Lyle from Hawthorn.
Yeah, look, we traded for Jordan, obviously with losing Mitch Clark, so we needed some height in our forward line. But Jordan's also got the ability to go back as well. Still a young player and still developing. So, but again, he's settled in really well in Brisbane, and again, we hope to ensure that he plays a regular senior footy.
Crows into the middle. Hard work done there by Ian Callanan.
As crisp again, he continues to find the footy. So again, he's got a massive work ethic, and as I say, he as a rookie, he's got his opportunity tonight. He played, I think, half a game last week as well, and we've been very impressed with Jack through the pre-season.
So Lions go forward, looking for a big target. Trying to find some of the youngsters that are looking to put their hand up in the absence of Jonathan Brown, and maybe working alongside him this year, as the Crows are clear again from defence, just struggling to lock it in there at the moment, Dean.
Yeah, look, they're using the ball very well, the Crows, and looking to get out to the fat side of the ground there. But I think just that individual press and actually ability to actually close out players are giving them too much room at the moment. But again, we'll just hopefully try to hang in there and work our way back into the game.
Petrenko puts his head over the ball after a fine work there by Tambling on the wing, and it's seen over the boundary line just in front of Jenkins, and it seems to have come off a boot. And Golby will be taking the free kick. So Mitchell Golby, another little up and under kick. Free kick going the way of the Crows. Push out. So little infringements at the moment, costing Brisbane just some momentum going into their forward 50. And now the Crows just maintaining possession through McKernan. So on centre wing, good lead up and mark. This time taken by the likes of Sloan. And the Crows building yet again on another forward thrust as they go inside 50. Walker triple teamed as the Lions start to clear again. Golby again. Looking for Redden, doesn't find the target. Good tackling pressure though by the Lions.
Outstanding tackler, Jack Redden. He obviously won I think it was about third in the tackle count the competition last year. Obviously third in our best and fairest. He's a great young player that luckily we've just signed Jack for a further 2 years, so we're very happy with that.
Ball inside 50, only metres out from goal. The Crows a chance to swoop here. And a free kick going the way of Adelaide. And fortunate there and unfortunate for the Lions there. So this will be a good chance for Josh Jenkins. He's a big lump of a lad directly in front to put another major on the board for the Crows. So Maguire not happy about the infringement.
I sort of missed it. I didn't quite see what it was.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work it out as well. As Jenkins, easy as you like, pops the sixth major on the board for the Crows. No super goals as yet. 6-3 to 2 straight. Crows lead the Lions. And make sure you check out Tourism Central Australia. Visit centralian.com.au and you can enter a great competition, answer 3 simple questions, put your name in the draw, and you can win some great prizes as well. Make sure you check it out.
Young Elliot Yo's coming on now, obviously being sort of sub for the first part of this game. young Western Australian boy who has really impressed us over the course of the pre-season. He's got a massive work ethic and played very well in his first game last week against Melbourne. Very good below his knees. So again, a promising young recruit for us.
It's all about endurance now, isn't it, with the substitutes coming in? Is that what the Brisbane Lions are thinking when drafting players now? They've got to have a great engine to maintain, the work ethic out there on the field?
Oh, look, not even just with the 2-and-2 during the NAB Cup, but I think in modern footy today you need to have a great aerobic capacity no matter where you play on the ground, just to enable you to actually cover the ground but also put on the defensive pressure when you need to. It'll be interesting to see what happens if 2-and-2 is introduced, but I think we as a football club have been working on our speed endurance and our repeat speed. So I think guys' athletic ability, it's a must nowadays, and certainly their ability to cover the ground is critically important.
So the Crows again making their way up to half forward off centre wing. And it will be thrown in front of the knowledge tree, I've been told by our Northern Territory Sports Minister. Tap down there by Jenkins. Another clearance from a stoppage there by the Crows. Good work by Douglas. And a good build-up here by the Crows. High, heading towards the goals. Through for a behind, though. They're just peppering at the moment. And the Lions are really having to work hard to get it over halfway as Maguire, a long penetrating kick along the wing. Good looking effort and great play there by Lester as he moves along the ground. Leuenberger has to work well below his knees, heading for the boundary line, did well. That's great work there by the big man.
Yeah, look, he's a terrific athlete, Louis, and had a great second half of last year from a development sense, and certainly a #1 ruckman, and with Ben Hudson being recruited to the club, and young Billy Longer, who we picked up in pick 8 in the draft, has got a lot of potential as well. But to have Louis as the #1 ruckman, and to have Ben Hudson and Billy Longer, our rock stocks have certainly increased from last year.
So ball to be thrown up right in front of us. In our broadcast position here at Traeger Park. Great to have your company on AFL in TV, aflnt.com.au. Swarm of Crows around us at the moment. Tap down that time there by Leuenberger, getting a quick kick away was Polkinghorne, trying to find a target. Wrapped up in a tackle there was the likes of Cornelius. They all jump on top of him. Crows somehow managed to get the ball out. They dive back in on top of it. Polkinghorne in the thick of the action yet again as he tries to get it out. Starting to look like a rugby maul at the moment.
At least it's a bit better from Brisbane actually forcing a contest there and forcing another stoppage where Polkinghorne won the last clearance, which was good to see. So hopefully we'll start to arrest some of that dominance back at the stoppages.
So umpire trying to clear some space for the ruckman to do their work.
Obviously during the NAB Cup the guys have got to have space and clearance of 3 metre gap between them. So it's worked reasonably effectively, but don't necessarily think it'd be a rule to be introduced during the season proper.
So Sam Sheldon heads in the Lyle direction as players mill around this one off hands and will be thrown in. Pollock working well in the forward pocket. So ball to be thrown in. A chance for the Lions to get another score on the board. High arc from the umpire, tapped down there by McKernan. Cornelius is there at the fall of the ball. Play's being ridden into the ground at the moment, tackling really hard. Beams is there, trying to get it out. Crows swooping on it that time there was the likes of O'Brien. He's under pressure. And the ball will be thrown up yet again. So just really need a clearance from this stoppage just to create something.
Obviously another score just to settle ourselves down. It'll be very handy. But as I said, I'm pretty pleased that we've actually forced a contest at the stoppages rather than Adelaide winning the clearances quite easily. So that's been better, I think, from Brisbane's point of view over the last 5 minutes.
So ball seen over the boundary line right in front of the interchange bench where there's an extra metre for the players to stay in that holding pen before they come over.
That's another, the interchange gates is something that's been trialled through the NAB Cup as well, and I think the interchange steward's role in the AFL is probably one of the most difficult tasks in the game. I think it's pretty hectic.
As Douglas pops in another one. Great lead up there by Brodie Smith for the Adelaide Crows. Penetrating kick in forward. And another goal to the Adelaide Crows, 7-4 to 2 straight the Lions. So they're starting to kick away with it, the Crows, but as we mentioned before the broadcast began, they're a very, very young side. Not to make excuses, of course, but a very young side out there for the Lions tonight, resting a lot of their big-name players. And the similar sort of thing could be said there for the Crows, but maybe a little bit further down the track development-wise.
Yeah, look, possibly, but again, no excuses. I think Brisbane's work around the stoppages has been not good enough when it's as simple as that. And Adelaide have really got on top in that area, and the delivery into the forward 50 has been very, very good. So Brisbane really need to probably just settle a little bit, but again start winning the ball at stoppages and getting their hands on the footy. Adelaide have just dominated.
Pollock under pressure, may have been holding on. He uses the ball well. Smart work there by Pollock. Fortunately didn't get to Green in time as the Crows clear again. Called through, playing on quickly this time is the likes of Callanan. He has to work hard. He doses around 2. Knights is there as well. He's got to take on 3 Lions. Great tackle. It's got to be holding the ball. It is. And McGrath wins himself a free kick.
Playing down back tonight, Ash McGrath, but we played him a lot up forward last year, and I think he kicked something like nearly 27 goals, or second in our goal kick behind Mitch Clark. So. Only played half the games up there, so gives us a lot of flexibility, Ash McGrath, and obviously tonight we need some more experience down back, hence he's playing that role down there tonight.
So plenty of space created again. As Leuenberger wins the tap out, trying to find his teammates. Wrapping it up is Sheldon. And another throw in, another stoppage created. Sam Sheldon's been in the ranks for a while. This a year, maybe a breakout year for him to take the next step?
Yeah, well, look, he played most of the games last year. So once he got elevated, I think he got elevated after round 3, and played the remainder of the season as a defensive half forward. Works really hard, Sam, and in that role, and does apply a lot of pressure up forward. But again, we expect Sam to be a regular senior player, and he's been at the club for a number of years now. So. He needs to continue to show that he's a regular senior player.
So the Lions trying to muscle the ball forward. Tambling linking up with John Cock. Slipping at the crucial moment was Sloan. He regained the ball. They're linking up yet again here, the Crows. Good work there by Petrenko to tap that on. Trying to find the target in Walker. Under pressure is Green. And great skills there by Yeo. So Yeo onto the outer side, under pressure. Hawksley's going to have to work hard for this one. Waits for the bounce. Chips it across. And they're working laterally, the Lions. Now they go direct. Inside the forward 50, looking for Leuenberger. Puts up the mittens, can't find anything. Crows around him, besiege him. Dive on the ball, they try and get it out. Crows end up with it.
Probably could have just lowered his eyes there a little bit, Sam. I think he had a couple of shorter options, but just elected to bomb it long to Leuenberger, but probably had a shorter option.
So the Lions win it out again. Play on, says the umpire. And a free kick. This time going the way of Sam Sheldon, a player we were talking about only moments ago. What's he like in front of the big sticks?
Yeah, usually reasonably reliable. So, again, it's a critical one, this one. It'd be nice to get one on the board just to settle things down a little bit.
Dean Warren has joined us from the Brisbane Lions. In commentary for this second quarter is Sam Sheldon. Lines up on a tight angle here at Traeger Park tonight on AFL NTV. The Crows leading. This will help the Lions get back in the game and gain some momentum as he pops it up instead. Players dive on top of the pack. Lions trying to swoop on it. Leuenberger doing some grunt work inside. Good work there by Jenkins to kick it away. Trying to swoop on the ball that time there was Golby. Into the middle nearly. Tambling. Knights on the halfback flank for the Crows. But there's nothing but Lions in front of him. As McKeever, the Irishman. Being dealt there was Golby. Tambling. There has been a free kick going the Lions' way. Players half had stopped, half was still going. Got to wait for that second whistle. So the Lions in another forward thrust. Haven't been many in the second quarter. They go along the outer wing. Ball falls to the bottom of the pack.
I think Polkinghorne was just at the fall of the ball there. He's had a very good game so far, Polkinghorne. Again, another strong in-under type player that he's very good inside the stoppage. So it's good to see Polkinghorne working his way back into the game.
So Symes on the ground, linking up with Douglas, heading in the John Cock direction. One of the most experienced players on the ground tonight. And easy as you like for Tom Lynch. As he wheels around on his right, looking for Taylor Walker, uses his hands well, has to take on two. Great defensive pressure there by the Lions to wrap up Walker in the goal square, and he's been pinned for holding the ball.
Umpires are really going to be tough on that this year. You must actually make a genuine effort to dispose of the ball. Even if you haven't had any prior opportunity, you still have to have a genuine effort to dispose of it by hand or foot. So they are hot on that one. The Brisbane Lions have been pinned a couple of times for not having a genuine effort to dispose.
So Maguire deep in the back pocket. High up and under kick at Leuenberger. Free kick for in the back, going the way of the Adelaide Crows. So the Crows looking to build off centre wing. Again in the Walker direction. McKernan's there as well. Knights for the Crows. Plenty of lines around this ball. As the ball is tunnelled out. Players jumping all over each other to just get a quick kick away. McGrath does so this time for the Lions. Having to work hard there, that time is Cornelius. Starting to link up. Got nothing really to kick to there. You know, Brian?
Just pushed him in the back as he kicked it there, so the umpire's bringing it back.
So waiting for Lions forwards to flood back into their line. There's plenty of changes are being made. Has to be precise with the kick, he is so. And finds Hawksley. So Hawksley. Chance to penetrate. Lovely long looking kick there by Polkinghorne, but unfortunately ill-directed. And mopping up again, there is Symes. So to Otten on the outer wing, heading in the direction of Lynch. And a good mark taken there by the big man. So that's half time. And it's the Crows that lead 8-4 to 2 straight. Lions didn't get a score on the board that quarter, but it was tantalising stuff nonetheless. And Dean, you were happy with the way that they were attacking the stoppages, but obviously the centre clearances really cost you.
Oh, no, really poor quarter that from the Brisbane Lions. I mean, obviously got Adelaide terrific around the stoppages and the stop plays, and obviously won the majority of the clearances, and they got quality footy into their forward line. So. Obviously, not good enough from the Brisbane Lions. Hopefully, second half, obviously 6 players will get an opportunity in the second half, and hopefully we can turn it around and we'll have a more competitive showing in the second half.
The old super goal would be handy?
Yeah, a couple would be handy right at the moment. So we've got a couple of players that are capable, but need to get quality possession to them and in a bit of space.
Dean, great to catch up, mate. All the best for the season as well, and all the best for next week. A big game coming your way next week in Maroochydore.
Yeah, it's an important one for us. We play Carlton up in Maroochydore, which is an important region for us from a fan development and a membership perspective. So we haven't played a game in Maroochydore for many years. So I know the Sunshine Coast community is very much looking forward to the Brisbane Lions playing up there and Carlton, and the game's already sold out. The capacity's only about 5,000, but pleasingly the game's already sold out well in advance, which is terrific.
And of course another great game to build up for that round 1 clash against the Demons.
Yeah, we'll have more of our experienced players back next week, obviously playing on the Sunshine Coast, and certainly over the next 2 weeks we'll start heading towards round 1 and playing more of our experience and starting getting more settled for our first game against Melbourne at the MCG.
Dean, great to catch up. All the best for the year, and who knows, mate, this rebuild, we might unearth some shining lights for the Brisbane Lions tonight.
I've got no doubt we will.
Dean Warren there from the Brisbane Lions. You're on AFL NTV. Ed Cowlishaw, your lead commentator tonight. Great to have your company.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah. Hey, Shane. Thanks for catching up with us. What was the feedback from obviously the first half there? Young fellas having a crack, but just losing at the stoppages?
Oh no, it looks like they've pulled a lot of numbers forward up to the stoppages, and look, they're probably getting the first hands on us. Oh, we're competing well inside, probably getting hurt a bit outside at the moment. Some individual defensive stuff we just got to work on, and and team defence as well. We're not bringing the ball to ground, and we're not probably getting representation in the front half. So we've got some work to do over the second half.
And Taylor Walker's obviously causing a few troubles up there. He's obviously doing a great job for the Crows, but what are you going to do to combat him in the second half?
Oh, he's an important player for him. You know, there's 8 of them out there we've got to contend with too. So Maguire and the rest of the back six have got to do a team job down there.
No worries, mate. Thanks for your time. Cheers.
Thank you.
G'day and welcome to Alice Springs. I'm Peter Solly, Tourism Central Australia's General Manager. Hope you're going to have a great time watching the footy here in Alice Springs. It's a pity you couldn't be here in real life, but given you're watching it on the streaming, we're hoping that your team gets up. Don't forget to enter the competition. You could actually win yourself a great opportunity to come and see this fantastic place. But in the meantime, have a great time and hope your footy team wins. Again, from Central Australia, welcome.
There's no place like Alice Springs. There's no place like the Barclay.
I've been travelling the outback for 20 years now, and I keep coming back to Yellowwater, Billabong and Kakadu. I see the visitors cruise out here with Gagagee dreaming. When they're on Yellowwater, they're just as keen to photograph as I am. I can understand why. There's something special about this place. And the wet season, just love it. I prefer to camp in a swag at Gagagee Lodge, Corinda, but Gagagee dreaming also has accommodation that's a little bit more luxurious. When you want to see Kakadu, cruise, tour or stay with Gagagee dreaming.
G'day, my name's Crafty from the Adelaide Steakhouse here in Alice Springs. I'm here amongst quite a few of my friends, and I'd like to welcome you all to this vision of Alice Springs on this Saturday night with the big game against the Crows versus the Brisbane Lions. I was privileged to drop anchor here in the Alice back in 1975, and because we sort of live close to every beach in Australia, I find myself stranded, but I love the place. It's all about the 4 or 5 C's, the characters, the colours, the closeness and proximity to every beach in Australia, and I guess the culture that exists in and around Alice Springs. So as I said, we're privileged to have a big footy game here tonight, but we're privileged with plenty of sporting facilities here. Alice Springs hosts the Masters Games every 2 years, and for us oldies it's a great excuse to get out and pretend how good we were, how good we still think we are, and it gives us 2 years in between games to recover from our sporting injuries. You've got the opportunity this evening to enter a competition which might allow you to come up here and check the place out for yourself. If you don't win that competition, it's an open invitation for you all to come to the Alice any time of the year and come in the Adelaide Steakhouse and say g'day.
Please note, there are no cars allowed in this match.
G'day and welcome to Alice Springs. I'm Peter Solly, Tourism Central Australia's General Manager. Hope you're going to have a great time watching the footy here in Alice Springs. It's a pity you couldn't be here in real life, but given you're watching it on the streaming, we're hoping that your team gets up. Don't forget to enter the competition. You could actually win yourself a great opportunity to come and see this fantastic place. But in the meantime, have a great time and hope your footy team wins. Again, from Central Australia, welcome.
There's no place like Alice Springs. There's no place like the Barclay.
I've been travelling the outback for 20 years now, and I keep coming back to Yellowwater, Billabong and Kakadu. I see the visitors cruise out here with Gagagee dreaming. When they're on Yellowwater, they're just as keen to photograph as I am. I can understand why. There's something special about this place. And the wet season, just love it. I prefer to camp in a swag at Gagagee Lodge, Corinda, but Gagagee dreaming also has accommodation that's a little bit more luxurious. When you want to see Kakadu, cruise, tour or stay with Gagagee dreaming.
To the obviously the NAB Cup for Adelaide Crows, and you're continuing on with that fine form. And what was the message at half-time from Brenton?
Oh, I think the fact that the boys won some contested possession again, that's always going to be something that the Sounders have been pushing pre-season. So, no, look, the conditions are pretty good actually, considering all the rain they've had. We're just going to make sure that we keep the momentum in the second quarter. Very even first quarter. A couple of things went our way in the second quarter, and the boys have got to keep the same intensity as they showed in the second for the rest of the game.
One thing that the Brisbane Lions are concerned about is the amount of stoppages that you guys are winning, and contested footy and the stoppages you're doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the difference is not a hell of a lot between it at the moment, but the conditions of the ground, even though it's in good nick, it's still a little bit slippery. There's a little bit of fumbling around the stoppage, so even though the clearance numbers are slightly in our favour, it's what you do out of stoppage is also your effectiveness when you come out of stoppage. So, you know, Campo's been pushing really hard. We were ordinary last week at stoppages. He's been really hard on them this week, and we're starting to see the results coming through in the numbers. And
Taylor Walker, he's been a big key focus for you up forward. He's got a good role this year up forward for you guys?
Yeah, I think Tex is still a young man in some degree, but he certainly has high expectations of himself. So you know, which is good. I mean, we want him to be the best he can be, and you know, he needs to demand the ball as much as he has tonight. And it would have been nice if he had a couple of more shots, taken a couple more marks. But his work rate's very, very good for a tall marking forward. So hopefully he'll get a little bit more in the third quarter.
All right, thanks for your time. Cheers,
No worries, thank you.
Brad Stewart there with Dean Bailey here on AFL NTV, aflnt.com.au. Great to have your company tonight. Keep those, banter going there on AFL NT. It is really great to see. And Crow supporters up in arms. We've got a whole heap of Crow supporters right next to me from Tennant Creek. They're having an absolute blast here tonight. People from right around the traps of Alice Springs have joined us. And also from, Tourism Central Australia, Peter Solly joins us as well for commentary in this third quarter. A great sponsor and also a great reason why this game's happening here tonight. Peter, great to have you on.
That's absolute pleasure. What a fantastic place to be watching footy, eh?
Oh, look, it is a wonderful venue to be watching a NAB Cup game. The very best out here tonight, strutting their stuff, also trying to, show the coaches, hey, this is what I want to do for season 2012. And the Crows, they're doing it comfortably at the moment with the Lions not scoring in that second quarter, but I'm sure they're going to bounce back. Hey, tell us about this competition that's running on the website at the moment.
Absolutely. Look, everybody that's watching the live streaming has an opportunity to win a great prize out here in Central Australia. It includes some great things like a 4-day trip out to Uluru and Katajuta. Of course, some great accommodation in Alice Springs. They get to go up in a hot air balloon, and there's no better way to see the centre than from a hot air balloon. It's an absolutely wonderful thing to do. They get a town tour with Alice Wanderer. They get to eat at the famous steakhouse, the Overlander Steakhouse. So it's a really great package of things for people to see at Alice Springs and Central Australia.
And what's the best way to find out more about this competition? What's the website?
Look, if you actually go to the top of the YouTube channel that you're watching the live streaming on, click on that link and it'll take you straight to visit centralaustralia.com.au and you can enter right there.
So we're back here for the third quarter. Peter Solly alongside us from Tourism Central Australia. Great to have his company as well. As Billy Longer in the ruck for the Brisbane Lions. Great to see him in action. Patrick Dangerfield trying to get a kick away. Longer throwing everything into this one. Stacks on the mill and will be thrown up yet again as Dangerfield looked to escape with the ball. So a great crowd and great atmosphere here at Traeger Park. It's unique, definitely.
Look, there's not too many places in Australia that you can see a game like this with, so many great people around watching a great game of footy.
As Yo bombs the ball forward, the Lions in attacking now as Banfield's on the ground for the Lions. Shepherd's big chance here for the Lions to get a goal. Hand passed over the top, that time there by McKeever. And Vince clears away for the Crows. And a fine mark taken as well. So they move into the midfield, have to be precise with a kick. Just goes over the top of players as Longer mops things up yet again, throwing his big frame around the park. Another penetrating kick, heading in the McKeever direction. Also there for the Crows is Lewis Johnson, making his first appearance for the night. Back to McKeever, trying to link up, missed the handball. Here come the Lions. Out here, a big chance. Here comes a Buick for a great shot at goal. Easy as you like. And Rowan Buick, son of Darren, the former Essendon champion, has popped one through for the Lions, their first score for nearly 35 minutes.
I tell you what, though, they keep getting it down into that 50 zone and just don't seem to be able to convert. So it's great to see them convert. It's been a while.
So the Lions getting back into this game, and definitely the city end of the ground is the scoring end of the ground. We've seen a huge amount of goals go that way. In fact, most of the 10 goals that have been kicked, in fact. So as the ball is back in the middle, there's some other great things to do in Central Australia, not just touring Alice Springs, but also around the region as well.
Look, absolutely. There's places like Tennant Creek, which has some really great history in terms of mining, the gold mining history up there, and of course there's a great cultural and arts centre up there as well. It's a fantastic region. The Devil's Marbles, of course, is up there. It's a pretty famous sort of place. You can get out to Uluru and Katajuta, which is absolutely fantastic. Have you been out there before?
No, I haven't actually. This is my first time, Alice.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I've got to say the Ayers Rock, or Uluru as the indigenous name for the rock, is absolutely wonderful place to go, and it's every bit as spectacular as everybody says.
So as the ball here locked up, Dangerfield tries to get a kick away, kicks for touch, and it will be thrown in yet again as changes are swung, with the likes of Lyons coming off and Petrenko back on for the Crows. Also Crouch back on for the Crows as well, as he was rested in that second quarter. Didn't see much of him. A likely prospect for Adelaide supporters out there. Good tackle there, that time there by Stiller. Symes trying to trap the ball, misses everything, and instead gets it all wrapped up roughly 70 metres away from the Crows' goal.
And of course, if people are wanting to win the prize on the web tonight, we've actually made it pretty easy. We've asked 4 questions. The last question, of course, is what the final score is. The other 3 questions are about some of the places in the region. There's 3 pictures at the bottom of the streaming, the YouTube streaming channel, and if they just click on those, they'll go straight to the answers pretty much. So it's going to be a pretty easy competition to win.
So the Crows with the free kick. Plenty of great reasons to come into Central Australia if you're in Adelaide or Brisbane watching tonight, or anywhere around Australia or the world for that matter. Beautiful part of the world, smack bang in the middle of this great country of ours. As a free kick is going the way of the Lions, just trying to etch themselves back into this game. Just struggling to get it past, pretty much their half-forward line tonight. Very young side. As Maguire goes along the outer wing, looking for a target in McKeever. Finds him. So the Irish recruit, hand passes over. Starting to link up well now are the Lions as Newell, the rookie. Quick kick away that time there by Leicester. And slowly but surely the Lions are building. Good use of the body there, that time there by Eamon Buchanan, who's also on the ground. So they've swung the changes, the Lions. And this is the bonus about the NAB Cup, Peter, that you get to see some of the talent that you wouldn't necessarily see through the season proper. This is where the young men are really standing up tonight.
Yeah, and it's good. It's a good place to start showing those coaches that they're ready for the big league, and it's great that they're doing it in Alice Springs. It's been an amazing week in Alice Springs, actually. Everybody thought we were going to have this game washed out tonight, but of course you can see it's a fantastic night. But one of the really interesting things that happened this week, because it was raining, is the Todd River actually ran. It's not often you see the Todd River run.
The old chocolate milkshake.
It's a real amazing spectacle to see that thing happening, I'll tell you.
So Longer and also Jenkins doing the ruck work. Dangerfield with another quick kick away. Good work there by Paul Pleasure to put the pressure on, but a fine mark taken there by Golby, who has been great in defence tonight for the Lions. So they move it on the outer side, this time through Harvey. He takes a couple of bounces. Looks to penetrate the forward 50. Quick handball away. Nice little chip kick. Redden. Under pressure the Lions, but also still a goal scoring opportunity. In front of the goal mouth. Oh. Good effort there by McKeever to keep the ball alive. John Cox there as well. Doesn't want to rush it. And didn't do it deliberately. So no 3 points there as they play on quickly from the kick in. And they start to build again. Taylor Walker imposes himself on the ball. Stabs at the kick. Making it hard there for his other teammate in Lynch. Good tackle. Maguire going in hard, wrapping it up, trying to burrow it out. He does so. Under pressure there was Buick. He got the ball away, linking up with Pollock. This is a great chance for the Lions now as they're under pressure yet again. Leicester trying to keep the ball in the line. And a scene over the boundary line.
Haven't AFL NT and AFL Central Australia done a great job of the ground tonight? That's
no. Look, it's there's been a hell of a lot of rain, as you've alluded to, with the Todd River flowing. So yeah, look, the drainage system here at Traeger Park has been absolutely sensational as Billy Longer tries to throw his weight around. Good work there by the Crows. Symes trying to fend off a tackle. Here come the Lions, up and under with the kick there, that time by Newell. A big fly there by the Crows, but through there, touched. Great effort there by Banfield.
They're trying, but they just can't seem to make that conversion, hey?
No, they're working hard, the Lions, at the moment. 3-2-20 to 7-4-46. As the Crows again look to kick in. Umpire says play on. Little chip kick finds Johnston. Symes here tight on the boundary. He finds him. And they're slowly but surely making their way along the wing. Crouch is just in front of us. Also an option is Jensch. Instead, he chooses the likes of, as they play on quickly, Harwood in the middle. McGrath upended. Plenty of feeling there going on with it. That time there by Riley and McGrath and a free kick. Maguire having a few words to say. McGrath gets the free kick. That's Ashley. And they're lining up. So Newell, the rookie, has to be precise, making it hard there for Buick. Twists and turns his way out of trouble. Polkinghorne now, wobbly kick. Rockcliffe, penetrating kick. Good effort there, keeping the ball alive. Going to have to work hard this time is Resleff. Loses a handle on the ball and Symes mops up for the Crows, and away they go on the outer side through Porplesia. So to Petrenko. So the man with the torrid shoulders there in Porplesia bombs it to the centre circle. Man in front there was McKeever. Crouch gets a handball out. Lions under pressure. Not many targets up forward, but Walker is all by his lonesome and he might end up with it. As a big, long, booming kick. Walker, Maguire, the ball falls to the ground. Maguire toe poking it out of trouble and he sees it over the boundary line deep in the forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows.
And of course, if people are wanting to enter the competition that we're running, it's really important that they do like our Facebook page, because we are going to check the final winner to make sure they have done that. And if they've done all 4 things and liked our Facebook page, they're in for a great opportunity.
Peter Solly from Tourism Central Australia joining us in commentary for this third quarter. And a fine mark taken there in defence. So the Lions looking much better this quarter, being proactive, and had a few chances on goal. As Maguire in the opposite pocket pops it up. Good mark taken there by Harvey. He moves it into the middle, starting to link up well. Here comes Polkinghorne. 1-2 there with Pollock, just didn't work. But he gets it back, Polkinghorne. Pops it on the boot, slaps it on in fact. Misjudging it completely that time there was Buchanan. But the ball's still alive and an option here as Rockcliffe and also Harwood move it forward. And here come the Brisbane Lions. A little cheeky kick. He stabbed at it at the time. McKeever, a big chance, but Sloan again for the Crows. See it clear. But the Lions are starting to pepper. Ball kept in play. Great work out there on the outer side there by Worden. Banfield's there as well. But the Crows strong in defence. Johnston pops it up, clears it to the opposite pocket. Lions in the front running. Working hard for the ball. That time is Henderson. Trying to team up, trying to find some support. It's the Crows now that are besieged in the back line. And a throw was paid against Crouch as the Lions play on quickly through McGrath. Right in super goal territory. A handy 9-pointer for the Brisbane Lions. Well, they were just peppering the goals time and time again. And finally a super goal on the board for tonight, and much needed for the Brisbane Lions.
Oh, they're working hard. They're trying really hard to get it into that goal, but of course they keep... Anyway, footy at Alice Springs. I'm really hoping that that all of you out there that are watching this game have an opportunity to come up. Of course, we've always got the welcome sign open up here in Central Australia. It is the heart, the soul, the centre of Australia, of course. And, you know, we're the closest town to all the beaches in Australia. Did you know that? There is no town closer to every beach in Australia than Alice Springs. It's the greatest little town, and I tell you what, if you come here, you're going to have an affair with Alice. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the beach is just down the road from Alice. As they play on quickly, the Crows, to get a quick reply from Ashley McGrath's super goal opportunity. Starting to build well. Under pressure are the Lions in the back half, but a bit of poise starting to creep into the game as Newell hand passes across to Maguire. Starting to build from the back line. Good work there by Johnston to hold things up. Trying to get rid of it is Longer. Also there is Reslaf. The two big boys working hard, but here come the Crows again. And a good lead up and mark taken there by the Crows. So this is their chance to just put an imprint in this quarter. Gone scoreless so far.
How big do you reckon the crowd is tonight? 5,000?
Look, there'll be a couple of thousand here. Obviously, the wet weather might have dampened the thoughts of some of the people in the outer areas to come along tonight as Callanan comes in from just inside 50. And puts it through for a behind. So 7-5 to 1-3-2 with that super goal there, 29. Yeah, look, I reckon, I just reckon some of the wet weather that you've been having over the last couple of days, you've had a lot of rain.
Absolutely.
A little bit unseasonal. Usually that's safe for Darwin and the top end residents, but it's good to see a little bit of dosage and also how green it is here in Alice Springs at the moment.
Look, it's absolutely fantastic. In fact, you go out just outside of Alice Springs and you wouldn't know you're in the middle of the red centre actually at the moment. It's more like the green centre, but it's a really great place to see even like that.
So Harwood trying to get a handball away. The Brisbane Lions starting to build through a check side kick. Otten really working hard for that mark. He crashed into Symes. He ended up with the ball and they start to clear yet again as Symes switches into the middle of the ground. McKernan shores things up through the acting captain in Dangerfield, and he's off and running through the cricket pitch. Pops it up. Petrenko, a likely observer on this one, ends up with the ball. And he's 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And another chance to put a major on the board for the Crows. No, but a lively atmosphere nonetheless. I mean, look, there might not be a big crowd, but I love what the AFL are doing in taking the football to the fans.
Absolutely.
Going regional right around Australia. It's fantastic. I know Brisbane taking on Carlton next week in Maroochydore. We've got a couple of games in Victoria down in Ballarat, and this one here tonight in Alice Springs. It's fantastic that the AFL are bringing the game to the people.
Absolutely. You know, I met a couple of people that I know from our bush down the street only yesterday. They've come all the way in from a place called Peeblajara, which is on the corner of Western Australia, Northern Territory and South Australian borders. You know, that's 10 hours drive to come and watch this footy game, but they're here to support their team, the Lions, and I'm sure they're having a great time tonight.
So as Jared Petrenko puts another major on the board there for the Crows, 8-5 plays at 1-3-2. And they've got a comfortable lead at the moment, but another couple of super goals could change the direction of this match as the Lions have come out roaring in this third quarter, bouncing back from a lacklustre second quarter where they didn't get a score on the board. So Longer in the ruck, coming up against McKernan. He wins that tap out, but loses the clearance. As here comes Patrick Dangerfield, another long raking kick, heading towards the goal square, hoping to jump on the spillage of this ball are the Crows. High up and under kick this time there by Jenkins. Lynch again swooping on the opportunity, and he gets another major for the Crows. 2 in a minute.
There's that crowd from Tennant Creek. They've come all the way down, 5 hours drive from that amazing place up there in the Barclay. They're having a great time. I'm sure they're going to have an even better time later tonight. But great to see some people down from that wonderful place up in the Barclay. There's some pretty good history to see up there. And of course, if you come to Central Australia, you really need to get up and have a look around Tennant Creek and the Barclay.
Of course, great chance to win here on AFL NTV tonight through Tourism Central Australia. Just follow the links on our website and you can be winning yourself a trip around this wonderful region, which is evergreen at the moment because of the rain that we've been having of late. But tonight, beautiful skies are greeting us. As both ruckmen miss a handle on that one, but the Lions get a clearance this time. But Johncock returns the ball in favour. Starting to build now are the Crows. Excellent work there by Kerridge, but miscues the kick. And the Lions are coming along the wing yet again. So the Bowden-McAdam stand full tonight, which is good to see as Maguire has the ball.
And of course, Carl Hampton's up there in the stand. It's great to see the Northern Territory government getting behind the AFL to help them come out here to play this great game. So thanks to the government for doing that.
So Longer gets a handball out. Under pressure are the Lions, snapping across his body. Working hard this time is the likes of Green and also Reslaf. Plenty of time and patience. Rockcliffe could swoop on a great tackle there by Petrenko. McKeever goes backwards to go forwards, and they slow things up yet again. So it had to be good with the kick. It was ill-directed, and Crows mopped this one up. Coming out of defence, Petrenko had a lot of the ball this quarter. Looking a likely prospect for Dream Teamers and Super Coach players this year. And you can check out the Paddock Super Coach from Mix 1049 on 323-312. That's the private league coach there. Still plenty of spots up for grabs. And a great mark taken there by the Crows as they move it along the wing. Taking his time is Stiller, as he's got plenty of it. Pops it up, and a fine mark taken there by Dangerfield. He plays on, shakes a couple of tackles. He pops it up in the Walker direction. Also there was Jenkins, having to move quickly. Spinning 360, nearly holding the ball there on Maguire. That time there, Worden. That time there, I should say, Callanan doing some great stuff up forward. Another likely prospect for the Crows for season 2012. As a free kick is being paid.
We went out with the umpires the other night to the Overlander Steakhouse in Alice Springs, and they were telling us about how far they run each of these games. I was pretty amazed to hear that they run up to 15 Ks during the game, and it's quite a distance, isn't it? A lot of it backwards.
Little mini marathons. These guys are very fit out there, and they've got to make these decisions quickly and spot on, and it's a tough gig as McKeever, the big Irishman, goes for the mark, doesn't take it. And a free kick after he legged the player involved. So the Crows come inboard and they start to build again. So Tom Lynch on the wing. Goes inboard.
Becoming a bit of a common story, this.
Porplesia pops it up looking for Walker. They play on quickly, falling to the bottom of the pack, but it's cleared through a soccer-like kick. And boy, hasn't that sport been in the press for all the interesting reasons this year so far. So AFL just around the corner. Round 3 next week with Brisbane and Carlton doing battle as the Crows look to score again, but are behind there. Adelaide Crow supporters getting excited. Next week they've got the Pies at Etihad Stadium. If they win tonight, they're in a good position to play off in the grand final after winning both their games last week. Whilst the Brisbane Lions 1-1. If they win this one, still a mathematical chance of playing off in that final game. And they've got the Blue Boys at Maroochydore next week. So great to see regional footy at its best. So as the Lions start to build from the back line yet again. Has to be precise with the kick. Finds it. Eamon Buchanan working hard this quarter. Had the first half off. Calling for the ball is Reslaf. Might end up with it. Working hard is Buick. He misjudged that. Sloan to Porplesia. Chipped it over the top of Walker that time. Petrenko. Moving it along. Under the pump is Buick. Got it away. Another check side kick coming away from Polkinghorne. He's loving that so far as Otten. Ill-directed kick. And the Lions into the middle of the ground. Has to be good this time in Yeo. Loses the handle of the ball. Sloan. And here come the Crows. Good chance here for Riley. Pops it up. No one in the goal square whatsoever. A fantastic goal there by Riley. And the Crows are just marching on here at Traeger Park tonight.
Yeah, they're certainly turning on some good football tonight. They're really showing the Lions that they're going to be a pretty strong team this year, I think.
Doing a good job here are the Adelaide Crows at the moment, and we must say to all those Brisbane Lions supporters, don't fall off your side. You're missing a hell of a lot of senior talent out there tonight, and I know Crow supporters will be saying the same, but big players like Rich and Black and Staker and Brown, they roll off the tongue and they're missing tonight, and I know Van Berlo's not playing for the Crows, and yeah, look, it's a hard way to gauge, isn't it, when it comes to pre-season football, but we are getting to witness some young stars on the rise. As players dive over the ball, yet again, Henderson for the Crows gets a handball out. They go laterally, the Crows heading in the John Cock direction. He'll be under a little bit of pressure. Good work there by Vince to help him out. He loses his footing in the end, John Cock. Good tackling pressure there by Newell. McGrath gets it out. Harwood loses his footing again. It is a sloppy part of the ground here where most of the water has been falling. And Harwood slow to his feet as Vince guards him on the mark. So the Lions go backwards to Maguire. And they look to switch play. So they've gone ever so far backwards. Got to be good with the kicks to get it out of this position as Maguire just buying some time. The big fella in Worden might end up with this one as Rescliffe and a big high looking mark there. A great effort there by Ricky Henderson. Got up high. Didn't take it down though, and maybe one of the Mark of the Year contenders, what could have been early on in season 2012. Great to have your comments, AFLN TV, aflnt.com.au. And great to have your company here tonight, wherever you're listening. Crows fans and Brisbane Lions fans alike, right around Australia and around the world. And the ball will be thrown up yet again. Another reminder of that great competition that's going on, Peter.
Yeah, look, as we've said several times tonight, I'm sure you're all aware that this is a great competition. All you have to do is answer those 4 easy questions and like us on Facebook, and you could be on your way up here for 7 days to enjoy what we think is God's own country. So don't leave it too long to enter. Of course, you are able to enter for the rest of this evening and tomorrow, but as soon as 12 o'clock hits on Sunday night, I think the entry forms fall off the website, as it were.
So third man up there was Lyons in that contest as he punched it forward. Players really working hard in this late in this third quarter. Excellent work there by Harwood. Lives up to his name, bombs it forward, has to be a good kick. Good effort on the marking attempt there by Luke Thompson. Screaming for the ball is Reslap, and it's seen over the boundary. But in a good position here for the Lions to sneak another one. They trail the Crows 1-3-2 to 10-6. Big long booming kick into the goal square. It falls to the bottom, looking for some crummers, but it's the Crows who get out of trouble. Linking up brilliantly. Kerridge. 3-on-1 situation. Interesting option to take. But Jenkins wraps him up, but does it highly. And Maguire not liking the attention.
And of course, there's going to be lots of men and women that are sportsmen and women out there watching this game tonight. If you're over 30 and you're into the Masters, every 2 years in Alice Springs we have the Masters Games, and it's an absolutely wonderful event. We have dozens and dozens of sports in some absolutely fantastic sporting venues across Alice Springs. So if you're interested in sport, keep an eye on that one.
John Cock gets onto a barrel. Maguire mops it up, and that is three-quarter time. With the scores reading 10-6-66 to 1-3-2-29. Ashley McGrath with that super goal. Great to have your company on AFLN TV. And Peter Solly, great to have your company that third quarter as well, and doing some great stuff for Tourism Central Australia.
Look, thanks very much for having me in the commentary box. I really enjoyed the view from up here. And of course, just one more time, don't forget to enter that great competition. You can win some 7 days in this great country, and we'd love to host you up here, and you'll have a great time doing it.
It's the Crows doing it comfortably. Three-quarter time here at Traeger Park in round 2 of the NAB Cup on AFL in TV.
G'day and welcome to Alice Springs. I'm Peter Solly, Tourism Central Australia's General Manager. Hope you're going to have a great time watching the footy here in Alice Springs. It's a pity you couldn't be here in real life, but given you're watching it on the streaming, we're hoping that your team gets up. Don't forget to enter the competition. You could actually win yourself a great opportunity to come and see this fantastic place. But in the meantime, have a great time and hope your footy team wins. Again, from Central Australia, welcome.
There's no place like Alice Springs.
I've been travelling the outback for 20 years now, and I keep coming back to Yellowwater, Billabong and Kakadu. I see the visitors cruise out here with Gagagee dreaming. When they're on Yellowwater, they're just as keen to photograph as I am. I can understand why. There's something special about this place. And the wet season, just love it. I prefer to camp in a swag at Gagagee Lodge, Corinda, but Gagagee dreaming also has accommodation that's a little bit more luxurious. When you want to see Kakadu, cruise, tour or stay with Gagagee dreaming.
There's no place like Alice Springs.
G'day, my name's Crafty from the Adelaide Steakhouse here in Alice Springs. I'm here amongst quite a few of my friends, and I'd like to welcome you all to this vision of Alice Springs on this Saturday night with the big game against the Crows versus the Brisbane Lions. I was privileged to drop anchor here in the Alice back in 1975, and because we sort of live close to every beach in Australia, I find myself stranded. But I love the place. It's all about the 4 or 5 C's, the characters, the colours, the closeness and proximity to every beach in Australia, and I guess the culture that exists in and around Alice Springs. So as I said, we're privileged to have a big footy game here tonight, but we're privileged with plenty of sporting facilities here. Alice Springs hosts the Masters Games every 2 years, and for us oldies it's a great excuse to get out and pretend how good we were, how good we still think we are, and it gives us 2 years in between games to recover from our sporting injuries. You've got the opportunity this evening to enter a competition which might allow you to come up here and check the place out for yourself. If you don't win that competition, it's an open invitation for you all to come to the Alice any time of the year and come in the Adelaide Steakhouse and say g'day.
Welcome back to AFL in TV, aflnt.com.au. And we're about to get into the last quarter, that is. 10-6-66, the Crows lead the Lions 1-3-2-29. A super goal there to Ashley McGrath to give the Lions a little bit of confidence. They bounce back from a lacklustre second quarter. And we're about to go down to Brad Stewart, who's trying to find Scott Camporeale for a quick chat about how the Crows are going to go about this last quarter as the Lions break away from their huddles. Good solid crowd here at Traeger Park. as we've mentioned throughout the call tonight, plenty of rain, over 100 millimetres of rain falling over the last four days. As we go down to Brad Stewart.
Scott, thanks for taking the time out here at three-quarter time. Fantastic first three quarters from your boys today.
Yeah, no, we've been pretty pleased at the moment. They got away a little bit at the start of that quarter, but we managed to, get back into the game, so we're happy at the moment.
And playing a lot of numbers behind the ball tonight, obviously slowing the Brisbane Lions down. Has that been a key tactic for you guys tonight?
Yeah, it was kind of worked out that way. We knew they were going to chip it around, so we just try and, stifle them, through the midfield with their uncontested mark, so we're able to do that.
Yeah, and Patrick Dangerfield looks to have taken his foot into another level after the pre-season. How have you found his?
Yeah, no, he's been outstanding. That quarter was, really good. Had 5 inside 50s and 3 or 4 clearances, so he's on the way.
No worries. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Brad. Great work there with Scott Camporelli, midfield coach there for the likes of the Adelaide Crows, and I'm now joined by NT Thunder senior coach Daniel Archer. Great to have your company here, Daniel.
Good evening.
So it's the Brisbane Lions that are looking to bounce back into this game. A tough option there for their forward as they move it forward, and I've really been impressed with this fella in Jenkins. He's presenting well for the Crows all night, and he's a big lump of a lad and something to look forward to for Crow supporters this year. So ball to be thrown in right in front of the Macadam Bowden stand. Longer looks to tap it down. Going in hard that time was Riley for the Crows. And ball to be thrown up yet again. So how are the NT Thunder looking for season 2012, Daniel?
Yeah, very well. The list is coming together very nicely. We sit at 40 at the moment, and obviously 3 weeks out from round 1 against Morningside at TIO. And we're now at that holding pattern where we all just want the season to begin.
So as play goes on here for the Crows, great tackle there by Redden. Felt that one there in Callanan, and he's slow to get to his feet. A ripping tackle there by Redden. And that's what they need, the Brisbane Lions. Around these stoppages, they need the tackles to stick and just get a little bit more confidence into their game. A very young side out there tonight. As Longer taps it down. Good work there by Riley, trying to get the kick away. Another good tackle that time by Redden. Tunnel ball action going on as Rory Sloane, a class act for the Crows, moves it on in the Walker direction. Under pressure at the moment. Dangerfield slips over, moves it on forward. Here are the Brisbane Lions. McGrath trying to get it out. Great work again by Ian Callanan, who snaps across his body for a ripping goal for the Adelaide Crows. Wonderful stuff there by Ian Callanan. He got cleaned up by Redden earlier. But that just shows how courageous you've got to be to play this game at the elite level. Picked himself up and put himself in a goal-scoring opportunity. Daniel?
Great story too, Ian Callan, obviously from Central Districts, a mature age recruit, and it's great to see him doing well.
So as the ball starts to make its way back into the middle, a big thank you to our sponsors here tonight, of course, Tourism Central Australia, and of course the NT government linking in with Alice Springs Council as well on helping raise the money to get this game up and running here in the NT, and more importantly in Alice Springs as well, as they missed out last year. As the ball is bounced, McKernan loses a handle on it. Good clearance there by the Lions. Under pressure yet again are the Crows at the halfback position. Johnston's there for the Crows. He gets a hand on it. Polkinghorn as well for the Lions. Longer trying to get something out of it. Wrapped up there by Jenkins. Players diving all over the place. Newell, the youngster, the rookie. Sloane in and under yet again. Off the ground that time. Again, Ian Callanan working hard. McGrath linking up Rockcliffe. And a good mark taken there by Banfield. So Daniel Banfield on the half-forward flank. Plays on. Doesn't have much to go to. He's wrapped up. Shakes a tackle and lost the handle on the ball. Really didn't have much to work with. And here come the Crows along the wing. Taylor Walker sees it over the boundary line. And it's interesting how both sides are going about it here tonight. Man-on-man footy, and there's a lot of space in their forward line to work into. So Callanan again. Good build-up and a ripping mark taken there by McKernan.
Both Adelaide big men have been fantastic tonight. You mentioned Jenkins earlier, but McKernan took a great couple of catches early as well.
So McKernan, a big chance for a super goal. They try to get some distance on it, but marked on the last line of defence by Lyle, who could be a likely forward option in the near future for the Lions. On the outer wing, this is much better by the Brisbane Lions as they're linking up beautifully, forcing the Crows to run back hard. Harwood has to work extremely hard for that one. And the ball slowly trickles over the boundary line right in front of ausport.gov.au. Some great sponsors.
That's been where Brisbane have broken down a lot tonight across that half forward there. Just their entry in the forward line, and Adelaide have been fantastic at getting their numbers deeper very, very quickly.
So tapped down by Jenkins again. Plenty of players around this stoppage. Rockcliffe picks it up, hands it off. More Crows around it. Porplesia working well. And here come the Crows into the middle of the ground. Corey McGrath all by himself. Marks easily. And another forward thrust coming up here for the Brisbane Lions. So building up through Yo. Awkward looking kick. Mongrel kick, in fact. Crows now fumbling around with it, trying to link up. A little bit too close for each other as Ricky Henderson finds Porplesia. And here come the Crows. They find some space now. Great tackling pressure there by the Brisbane Lions. Porplesia again. Maguire in the area, just doesn't hit the target. Great work by Kerridge to hold things up, and a goal scoring opportunity coming up. Walker having to work hard. Symes, in fact, and Symes just gives away a free kick.
It's a great effort to get lower than his opponent there. Obviously drew the free kick, and he has been very good tonight, Lyle. He obviously can play at both ends of the ground. It'll be important for Brisbane this year.
Handy acquisition as they're in a rebuild phase from Hawthorn. Big high and up and under kick. Off hands, Yo going in hard, ducks the tackle. Working well there was Otten. Rockcliffe going to put his body on the line along with Yo. Dangerfield. Vince had to be good, and he is so. McKernan. Sloan streaming forward, ignores that lead. Looking for space, and 50 metres has been given. And if he kicks it, this will be known as a super goal. Yes, it will. So 50 metres. And if he kicks straight, it will be a super goal for the Adelaide Crows. So with that, roughly 25 metres out, 45-degree angle, the big ruckman really has improved over the journey over the past 12 months. And another exciting addition for the Adelaide Crows. So McKernan pops it through. That's a super goal. 111-6 to 132. And McKernan pops that through. So, fantastic effort there by the Adelaide Crows. They've built up well. They've attacked this game with vigour tonight. They've really set the tone in that first quarter. And then they just kept Brisbane scoreless in that second. That really just, well, set the tone.
It has. We've just seen Richard Newell come running from the ground. Great young story, Richard Newell. A young Sydney boy who was an elite runner. And I've been told it set records alight earlier in the pre-season, running a 9:19 in his 3K.
Wow. 9:19. It's amazing running. As the ball heads forward again for Adelaide. Plenty of players again at centre half forward trying to wrap it up. Lions under pressure yet again. Good work there by Polkinghorne to clear it though. And a fine mark taken. That time there by the number 37 in Weirden, who came on at half-time. They go laterally again. Big possession team, the Brisbane Lions. That's what they're trying to introduce. Similar to the powerhouse side in Collingwood. Symes around this one, along with Johnston for the Crows as the Lions are wrapped up. But they get away with it through Rescliffe. So Rescliffe, pass it forward. Rockcliffe's in the area. Rescliffe again. Sloan Johnston, Rockcliffe, Yo, bombs it forward. And a big chance here for the Lions through Banfield, and he hits the post. And it just hasn't been the night of the Brisbane Lions. So the Crows play on quickly. Vince. Hand passes across. Plenty of poise in the back line at the moment. Yench. Marks in front of Harwood. Just finding the space at the moment, the Adelaide Crows, and now it gets tough. Taylor Walker along the wing. An option up forward, and this is where the next kick will go, as Vince chips it instead to Lynch. And it's punch over the boundary line and will be thrown in right in front of the McAdam Bowden stand. Two great AFL players from Central Australia. And the Bowden family synonymous with Central Australian football, along with the McAdams. Seen Adrian McAdam, who had that great start a couple of years ago for North Melbourne, nearly 10 years ago, where he kicked 40 goals in the first 4 or 5 rounds and then disappeared from the North Melbourne ranks. As Brisbane work it forward through Banfield. Big chance through Harwood. Polkinghorn, lovely long lace-out kick. It's got to be a good marking attempt, falling to the back. Harwood snaps across his body. It's touched off the boot, and the Crows will look to clear again. And all by his lonesome is Kerridge. So Kerridge, wobbly looking kick, and Maguire drops what he should have taken. That puts himself under pressure. Dangerfield looks to clear. He's been great through the midfield tonight. Henderson and also McIntyre.
It's been that difference into the Adelaide forward line. Their kicks to advantage have been great. I know that one went to ground, unfortunately, but they've used the ball quite well, putting it into space in front of their forwards.
Speaking of that space, it's much needed when the ruckmen are tussling. Buchanan fires out a handball, and the Brisbane Lions look to clear. Hard work there by the Irishman in McKeever. Great work there by Thompson. That's Luke. Scott not playing tonight. Big bomb there by Lewis Johnston. Great looking kick in the Walker direction. Rockcliffe trying to clean things up for the Lions. No support there for the likes of Golby, so he went backwards to get the ball back again. And he kicks it into the man on the mark. Great work there by McIntyre to hold things up for the Crows. And away they go on another attacking momentum. McKernan at centre half forward. So a bomb inside the forward line, heading in the Walker direction again. Good work there by Callanan. He's been great this quarter, throwing his body into everything. Kicked a ripping goal earlier. Dives on the ball again. He could create another scoring opportunity. Diving on the pack that time is Henderson. McIntyre's in the area. And the ball will be thrown up. No, it'll be a free kick, in fact, for holding the ball. Grabbed it in. So Riley paid against. So the Lions chip it across. This time, finds Stiller. And they've really clogged it up, the Adelaide Crows. Partial zone going on here, Daniel.
Yeah, they've been really good at actually forcing Brisbane to go backwards. So slowing the play right down, forcing them to go backwards, and then pressing right up and putting that pressure on them, keeping it in their own forward half.
How hard is that to implement as a coach? We saw it being labelled the Clarkson cluster back in 2008, and now a lot of sides trying to implement these zones, little zones that turn up all over the ground. How hard is it to teach your players that?
Yeah, look, I think that the problems you fall into sometimes is the fact they zone space and they still don't actually take responsibility for their opponents or the opposition. So it's a real balance between obviously knowing your space but also picking off the dangerous points for the opposition to come out through. So, but like I said, Adelaide have been great at actually slowing Brisbane and making them go backwards, because that's the key. If you can make the opposition go backwards, it gives you chances to start pressing and congesting that space and getting a chance to get the footy back in your own half.
It's a great build-up there by Adelaide there, using the ball well, and Patrick Dangerfield now will have a chance to have a shot at goal. Acting captain tonight. A lot of leadership qualities about him. And two players that really have stood up tonight, Rory Sloane as well, wearing the number 9 Guernsey, who's the VC tonight, and Patrick Dangerfield, two young fellas that are showing a promising future for the Adelaide Football Club. As Dangerfield comes in, eases back on the kick, and probably a little bit too much, and it's through for a behind. So that goal that I labelled a super goal earlier wasn't. It's 12-7 to 1-3-3. So it will be questioned after the game, I'm sure, on whether a free kick outside the 50 should be labelled a super goal if it does go inside after a 50-metre penalty. Jenkins goes high for this mark. Buick around it for the Lions. Good work there by Riley. He hands it off. Using his hand and body well there, Walker. And it's through for a behind, the umpire seems to have said. Or out of bounds for that matter. As the ball went over, and it will be thrown in. So maybe a win there for the Crows as they get another chance to have a ping at the goals. So Jenkins taps it over the top of his head. Riley scoops up the ball, looking for Dangerfield. Here's a chance for the captain. He snaps across his body, blazes away, and this time he puts it on the other side of the post for a behind. So 12-8, plays 1-3-3. 50 points the margin. And a great effort for Crows supporters, and with this win tonight, means that they'll go 3-0 and, well, could be a real chance of playing off in the NAB Cup Grand Final in a couple of weeks' time. But they've got to get past Collingwood first. So Lyle juggles the mark. Hand passes off there to Stiller, he plays on. Looking for McKeever, seen over the boundary line and will be thrown in. But yeah, young Jenkins for Adelaide, he's been really good, Daniel. Really impressed by the way that he goes about his work. And there's just a lot of positives that I'm seeing out of this Adelaide side, because South Australian football, it was in its doldrums last year.
Yeah, no, they're definitely giving their supporters and their fans lots of hope this year. It's the two big fellas have been great, and they've been really impressed at their ability to work the ball in close congestion and actually win it quite cleanly with their hands. So they've introduced a bit of a longer kicking game as well, that they've used their forwards quite well. So it's come together nicely.
So a great little passage there by the Lions, got halted on the last line of defence there by the Crows as Petrenko chips it off. Ill-directed kick, and here comes maybe a super goal for Polkinghorne, and he pops it through. Just wait for the all clear. It's a goal, in fact, just inside the 50 he was at the time. And a great effort there and a much needed goal.
It's usually how it works. You give a side a rap and they go and do something like that with a little bit of a coach killer, unfortunately.
I'm sure Brisbane Lions supporters were saying, where were you in the first 3 quarters, Daniel? So great effort there by Polkinghorne to get some more respect on the scoreboard. 1-4-3, 36 to 12-8, 80. Back to 44 points. As the changes are still being rung in by both coaches. So back in the middle, looking for a clearance out of the Lions, but it's the Crows that are swarming on the ball. Buchanan tunnels his way in, tries to hand pass it out. Great work there by the likes of Lions, who pops it up and under, hoping for rain. Callanan, hand passes over. Linking up with Kerridge. Bombing it inside 40. Sloane falling to the bottom of the pack. McKernan, Sloane snaps across his body. This time the VC does what the captain couldn't do and pops it through the middle. Great work there by Rory Sloane.
And McKernan again just getting his hands on the football and feeding it back nicely, but Sloane's been very clean all night, and that was a great goal, great finish.
Youngster from Emerald in Victoria, had the privilege of calling an under-18s grand final when he was playing for Emerald a couple of years ago, and he has just gone from leaps and bounds for the Adelaide Crows, and really making an imprint not only on their fans, as we can hear them. They've come all the way from Tennant Creek just to the right of us in the commentary box, but a really good crowd here at Traeger Park tonight, and evenly spread supporter-wise as well. As the ball goes up again, McKernan back in the ruck. Longer Tries to get a hand on it. Good work there by Dangerfield. Misses the target in Lynch. Maguire clears it. And Stiller for the Lions on the outer side. Moves it along the wing. Great effort there by Vince to trap the ball. Playing on quickly are the Crows. Going in hard that time, Buick. Again down the middle of the ground, and now there is a paddock in front of them. Going laterally, finds Beams, a goal scorer from earlier in the match. And a good build-up here by the Brisbane Lions. There's a triple somersault pike there by Pollock. So Jared Pollock, big raps on this young fella. Injury plagued last year. Comes in, good looking kick, great looking kick. And the Lions supporters are happy with that one. That's 2 goals in a couple of minutes. Great effort. How do you think the ground's held up here, Arch? I know the Thunder Boys will be playing here in the first couple of weeks and many home games here this year. Are you trying to look to make this a bit of a fortress like TIO Stadium? Because the travel factor obviously won 10 straight last year. Keep that momentum going into this year?
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's a beautiful ground, very picturesque. It's great looking back over the ranges there earlier tonight and twilight, but the ground's held up extremely well. They've done a great job to make sure that it's in good nick. And we get a chance to actually run around tomorrow, all our Alice-based players, in a bit of an intra-trial for us to see if we can find a bit more local talent to add to our list for this year.
As Redding gets the centre clearance for the Brisbane Lions. NT Thunder, check it out, territoryfc.com.au. Membership packages are available, of course. As the Lions try to surge forward, but it's the Crows through Vince. Long kick. Finds Dangerfield. Slows things up. Got some assistance. Oh, it's got to be a good kick, and it is so. And finds Otten. Great to see him back in the Adelaide jumper this year. So they start to hold things up after doing his knee in early last pre-season. Had a great 2010. But he's back on the park. Good to see for Crow supporters. So Kerridge on the outer side. Calling for the ball in the middle of the ground. There was Riley. He gets ignored. So just holding things up a bit here, the Crows.
Starting to take control of possession here and obviously wind the clock down as they do these days.
Vince linking up, finds Lyons. Just going back, playing possession footy at the moment. Maybe it's a tactic just to go through the drill. Of course, it is a pre-season game, and they've got the Bickies at the moment. 96 plays 42.
It's actually worked quite well for them because it's brought Brisbane up the ground a little bit and opened things up, but they seem quite content on just slowing it right down. They probably had an opportunity to push forward a bit quicker then once it opened up, but no, quite happy just to maintain possession and probably see this game through, I think.
Had to be good, and great use of the body there. A bit of a push out there by Walker. Enigmatic forward, and 50 metres given away as well, and a little bit of the Favoles about Walker, isn't there? He's got so much talent to burn, but every now and then just does something a little bit erratic.
Yeah, no, he showed again that he's got plenty of talent tonight, but I think you're exactly right as far as very unpredictable in what he brings to the table.
And there we go. You see, he smothered the ball. He's got the ball back for the Crows. So the good, the bad, the ugly all just turned up in one fell swoop there, Arch.
Yeah, and we hope, I guess, for Crows fans' sake, we see more of his good this year. So
there's Tom Lynch. He's had a good night tonight. Former Saint. Picked at number 13 a couple of years ago for the Saints. Got the trade and maybe opening up the career for himself at the Crows for season 2012. As Billy Longer looks like a real good ruck type there. Expected to go to the GWS in that draft last year and has ended up in the lap of the gods with the Brisbane Lions, which is fantastic for Lions supporters. Beams at the bottom of this pack. Big chance here as he falls off the way of the pack and could end up with the ball under pressure. There Buick trying to get rid of it. But here come the Crows yet again into the middle of the ground. Oh, they're lining up for this one. Walker Loses touch on Maguire, and Mark's as easy as you like. He's not happy with it, Maguire, and just lost touch out of him. Well, the enigmatic forward has got a chance to pop one through the big sticks.
Just really good kick there again by Paul Pleasure, like we were talking about before. Just that delivery to advantage side. Walker obviously running back towards goal with Maguire right beside him, but Paul Pleasure knowing exactly what he was going to do, turning back into space and just putting it out there for him.
So Walker stabs at the kick, a mongrel-looking kick, and for Crow supporters out there watching tonight, love to hear your thoughts on the big fella wearing 13. Of course, we saw an instance where he went back to Swan Hill and then popped back in and, well, was caught drinking at a game, watching his reserves going around, local footy in the Sample. Love to know your feedback out there on the website, aflnt.com.au, on, well, the season ahead for Taylor Walker and the big number 13. As Longer doing the ruck work for Jenkins. Paul Pleasure, always a goal sneak, keeps it alive, popped it up, punching it through, maybe. It is a three-pointer. So just waiting for the official score there from the umpires, as it looked like it was a three-pointer rush through, but maybe he got away with it, the Crows. Different coloured flags being used tonight, so just the behind. As McGrath streams away. And a good strong mark taken there by Yo. Likely prospect with a big engine from WA. Sloan, under pressure, gets the handball away to Symes. Linking up brilliantly. Vince, big long booming kick, and finds the target. And it's our man Jenkins. So great lead up there in the midfield. Vince and Callanan and Sloan doing the hard gut busting in there, and that's been the problem tonight. The centre clearances there for the Brisbane Lions, they've just been out-muscled.
Yeah, just in and around those contested situations, you saw exactly then just their ability to really, I guess, know that they're going to take that body contact and that tackle, but still protect the ball and control the ball onto their next teammate. So it finally got out into open space, and then another great kick to advantage.
And it's something that can be easily fixed when you add a Simon Black or a Daniel Rich into the midfield for Lions supporters, so I wouldn't be too perturbed.
No, look, they are very, very young tonight, and obviously the great side of that is we've got their young players getting game time and getting experiences. But, yeah, I think Brisbane Lions fans will be looking forward to, obviously, the Blacks, the Riches, the Browns, all getting back into the side, the Merritts, you know, Drummond, there's a lot of experience.
Staker, Patfull, they're all being rested, aren't they? But as Michael Voss said before the game, this is a chance for the youngsters to really put their hand up and say, hey, we want to be part of the senior team this year. A great goal there by Josh Jenkins, and look, he can play forward, he can pinch hit in the ruck, and that's what you need. You need those pinch-hitting, goal-kicking ruckmen in this competition nowadays, especially with a substitute rule.
Yeah, definitely. And look, Jenkins and McKern have been fantastic, and obviously it's Longer's first game with Hudson not playing this evening. It's obviously another bit of experience the Lions have been obviously able to grab, but those two big fellas have really taken charge tonight for the Crows.
Quick kick away there by Redden, trying to find a target. Jensch mops it up, but that is it. Done and dusted here in round 2 of the NAB Cup at Traeger Park tonight. 14-9-93 to 153-42. It's the Crows that have done it easily in the end. And a fantastic crowd that have witnessed a wonderful game as well, Daniel, and some of your highlights that you've seen tonight.
Yeah, look, we spoke about obviously we continually spoken about the two big fellas for Adelaide, but they were really impressive. It was really good signs, I think, for Adelaide. Callanan, obviously in close, was a bit of a live wire there in that last quarter especially. Got plenty of the football forward for them and set up quite an avenue to goal.
And we throw down to Brad Stewart with the captain of the Adelaide Crows, Patrick Dangerfield.
Patrick Dangerfield, three wins on the top for you guys. Fantastic start to the pre-season.
Yeah, it's without any injuries, but we certainly played some good footy tonight and for 4 quarters, which is pleasing.
And how's your pre-season been, mate? You look pretty good out there. It's pretty good to turn up and come away unscathed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the pre-season. I got through uninjured and feeling fit, the other players, which is good. So hopefully now we can bring this momentum we've created the pre-season into the season.
And now is obviously your focus to make the NAB Cup Grand Final. You're probably taking it pretty seriously now that you've won 3 on the trot.
Yeah, it's certainly pleasing to have played well, but you know, we've got a game against Collingwood which we must win to get through. So we'll be setting ourselves for them, and it's a really good challenge for us because obviously they've been such a good team over the last couple of years.
No problems, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time, and enjoy the fight back.
Good on you.
Patrick Dangerfield there with Brad Stewart from AFL NTV. And look, it was a great game, a great crowd as well. And it's great that the AFL are taking, and I mentioned this a couple of times during the course of tonight's game, that they're taking the games to the regional areas. I know the Lions are off to Maroochydore next week against Carlton. The Crows, well, they're playing at Etihad Stadium against the Pies. So I don't know if Eddie Maguire would like the Pies to going anywhere else other than Melbourne at the moment. Obviously, MCG is being used for cricket purposes, but I do think it's a really good way of just spruiking the game and spreading the love of AFL football.
Yeah, definitely. We are the national game, so it's fantastic that we are able to take it out and show the great product that we've got, that is AFL footy, to crowds like this. Very family-orientated crowd. They've come out in their numbers once the rain stayed away today, and I think everyone involved in putting the game on here tonight should be really proud of themselves, because it's been a great atmosphere and a great game of footy, and fantastic for football here in Central Australia.
NT Government, Tourism Central Australia, done some great stuff as well, and also though, we should say the Alice Springs Council for getting it all done. AFL NT, AFL itself, NAB, Mix 1049, Crown Plaza, the list goes on, and there have been just so many great sponsors to really get this game up and running. Of course, Central Australians were unlucky to not get a game last year. They had the Indigenous All-Stars versus Richmond game that was all ready to go, and unfortunately Cyclone Yazi decided to make a trip to Alice Springs, and it just didn't eventuate. Wet weather again hampering some of the preparations for this week's game, but it went unperturbed tonight as well. Look, the NT Thunder, first rounder only a couple of weeks away against Morningside. Should be a ripping game. How are the boys looking?
Yeah, look, like I said earlier, the list is starting to shape together really nicely. We've got 40 on the list at the moment, which includes 5 boys here from Alice Springs that are signed. And I said we've got an internal trial match tomorrow with some guys from local communities and also here based in Alice Springs, and hopefully looking to sign maybe 3 or 4, even 5 more guys from Central Australia. But we're really excited about the season getting underway. Obviously a big year for the club last year, and I'm thrilled to be now part of the club and actually trying to take them forward in obviously trying to win another premiership. So
back to back. I mean, there's 2 ways of premiership. To explain the NEAFL competition to our listeners on AFL NTV this evening, it's the NEAFL competition. There's a Northern Conference and a Southern Conference, and you've got to win the Northern Conference Grand Final to make it into the overall Grand Final, and then win that one, and then you're the overall champion.
Yeah. So look, it's a pretty unique situation that they experienced last year in being able to play 2 Grand Finals in a week. Probably limited celebrations on the first Grand Final, but obviously it's great then to win the second one and be able to celebrate very heavily, I guess.
I will ask this question of you, Austin Wanamiri. I've been watching him intently with the Tiwi Bombers. He's looked a little bit unfit, and then you guys have come along and signed him. How is Austin emotionally and physically with his preparation for the NT Thunder for season 2012?
Yeah, I was very lucky. I actually got across to Tiwi on Monday and Tuesday and spent a bit of time with Aussie and his brothers, and met some of our other Tiwi boys, saw them working in their local community school, which was great. Aussie has got a bit of work to do. He's come home, and we all know that he's come home and tried to get things back on track with certain parts. But no, he's a really professional person. So he knows how the system works. He knows how to train hard, and he has been. He's been starting to do his rehab with his ankle really well. He's been very responsible and professional in that aspect, and now he's training himself very hard and working very hard to probably drop a couple of the kilos he needs to, and get him back to being the Aussie Wanamiri that we all know he can be for NT Thunder this year. We're over the moon and very excited to have a genuine and great person like Aussie in our program, because he won't contribute just for our football program, but he'll be a real good role model for a lot of the younger kids we've got also. And
also Jerry Cunningham as well. He's kicked like 30 or 40 goals in the last 3 weeks in the local competition in the NTFL. He's definitely one to watch for AFL scouts out there. He is a live wire, and he's not a big boy, but he is just lightning quick, and he leads like a big full forward. It's something to get really excited about over the next couple of weeks when it comes to local finals up north.
Yeah, definitely. Tiwi had a very good win tonight over Nightcliff, so they've now found themselves going into a grand final, which is exciting for all the people over on Tiwi. But yeah, Jared's a great footballer. He's got that real, I guess, natural instinct that so many Territorians up here have in the way that they play, and they just know where to go, know when to jump, know when to accelerate, and he uses all the tricks in his bag. And I think he kicked 75 or 77 for the year, which included 27 in the last 2 weeks of the home and away competition. So I'm really excited to have someone like Jared on our list, and he's going to play a great part alongside, you know, the #1 forward in the competition, Darren Ewing.
Well, that'll be interesting to see how you make that work there, Daniel, because we know what Buff's like. He loves to kick a bag of 10 or 12 every now and then. So, but he is an absolute exquisite forward as well. So it's going to be great to see them go. territoryfc.com.au, buy your membership. Check it out on Thundervision as well throughout the season. There'll be similar broadcasts like what we've done tonight here on AFL NTV. In the meantime, Daniel, thank you very much for joining us tonight, mate. Great to catch up with you, and I'm sure we'll speak on mix1049.com.au in the near future on the paddock.
Excellent. Thanks very much for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Daniel Archer, head coach of the NT Thunder, as well, fans alike are starting to stream on to Traeger Park and have their quick kick-to-kick before they turn the lights out here tonight. It's been the Adelaide Crows comfortably 14-9-93 to 153-42. A big win for the Crows. They're 3-0 and a very good chance of playing off in the NAB Cup Grand Final in the next couple of weeks. From AFL NTV, this is Ed Calishaw signing off and thanking you for your company tonight.